It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. and it's coming to you live from a sitting room in Dover, England. It's Fascination Street.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fascination Street. I am your co-host, Mika Pearson, and your host, Jimmy Pearson.
Hello there.
Now, tonight we're going to have an awesome guest, and our guest is Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm very good. You?
I am very good as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're very good, Mika. That's good to hear.
It's getting good at doing the intro bit, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right, before we go any further, I would just like to give a big shout out to my Spirit of France crew that are currently sat on a cross-channel ferry on the way to France or in France and that have managed to link into the show. So, hi, ship's crew. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Right, so, as we've gone straight into it tonight, how's your week been? You had a good week?
Except from having scarlet fever and my rashes burning and itching, I've been very good.
A nice, good old-fashioned Victorian illness.
Yeah, I've been up 21 chimneys so far.
21 chimneys. Mum and Dad are getting paid. Dollar, 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 dollar.
Oh,
How's your week been, Sabrina?
What's that?
How's your week been? Had a good week?
Yeah, really good week. It's a really interesting week. Lots of things have transpired in an interesting fashion.
Ooh,
I must
like
say.
the sound of that.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain them, but it like synchronicities, like really super cool synchronicities happened, and like big ones, like undeniable. This is what's happening because. Oh, and the weird thing that happened is I found a weasel in my chicken coop. I'm not happy about that.
That's not code for something, is it?
No, it's an actual thing that happened, and I was.
Oh, so it's a real actual thing. Cool.
Yeah, I yelled at it. And I communicated with it with, don't come in my chicken coop or I'll eat you. And I didn't, I'm not really going to eat it. I just want to scare it.
That's weird. You see, we're not lucky enough to have like all these wonderful tropical kind of animals and everything that we all
have.
have.
Weasel, termites,
a weasel.
Everyone for the Spirit of France. You've got Frankie, Becky, Kerry, Campbell, Kev, Connor, Sanjay, and Sabrina.
Sanya, not Sanjay. Wow, we've got quite a lot of crew here. So let's go through it again. Frankie, Becky, Kerry, Campbell, Kev, Connor, Sanya, and Sabrina. Everyone. So that's it. And they've all tuned in to see you because they know about you, Sabrina.
Thank you.
Sabrina, are you cool if we just take a couple of questions from the guys? Because I know they're going to have to get back on duty in a second.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Ship's crew. You've got like a couple of minutes before you get back to work. So quick, get them in to Sabrina in capitals, please.
Ask away.
I know. That's exciting.
While we're waiting,
yeah,
I got these oracle cards. Can you see what they say?
Ooh.
Wisdom of House of Night, of the House of Night. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're by Colette Baron Reed, but the person that she went into this with was PC Cast, and I found out from doing my meditation circle on Wednesday night that PC Cast does novels on this. So the cards are gorgeous, like gorgeous. I love them.
Well, come on then. Let the beef see the radish.
Alrighty, well, I'll pull one.
No. Let's have a look at the artwork. I love the artwork on these things.
Righty.
All right.
Because my first set of tarot cards I got, I mean, the artwork on those were really, really amazing. And that's what drew me to that deck.
Yeah.
I know, like, it's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Hey, Amy Winehouse.
Right?
That looks like Amy Winehouse.
Doesn't it?
What
That's
card
funny.
is that one?
Deceit. Nefret. So I guess Nefret is a character in the book.
Yeah.
But look at the corners. I don't know if you can see these, the edges of these. Yeah, you can. Look at that.
Yeah, they're exactly the same. They're exactly the same as my tarots. They're all silver, and the thing
blingy.
is I found that when I shuffle them and that, you end up with like silver bits all over your fingers, like for the first few times you use them. Yeah, I don't know whether or not you'll get any of that.
I haven't yet. I like this card. I mean, I'm just saying, I like it.
Yeah, especially the knot work at the top around the frame there. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, that's not why I like it.
I can't see it.
Yeah, because I mean, what I done was used to get mine. I just used to shuffle, then change arms half time and shuffle again. So maybe if you give yours a good shuffle as well, you'll get the silver bits over.
Maybe I will, but I haven't noticed. I haven't noticed any yet. Oh, one fell out. You always have to take the one that falls. Always.
Oh, tell us what it is. Tell us what it is.
I will in a minute. I have to do it after I pick the one for the crew. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick a general intention card. So what? Oh, there's another one that fell out. So general intentions are usually whatever. It's like whatever I get from it is what the intention for the card is. And that's the pulled one. Oh, look at that. The super hot guy is the bottom one.
Oh, great. Hot guy. Woo.
Oh, he's super hot. He's not just.
You've already got two super hot guys here. Don't be giving it all that Campbell. Don't be giving it all that love.
That's right. Okay, the first one that fell out is Forbidden.
Oh.
And it's number 18, so 1 + 8 is 9. I don't feel like this is what?
Oh, sorry, no, I was just going to go down the numerology road. That's all how it works. And
see, it's whatever I'm drawn to in the picture at the very first thing that I look at. So even if it's something bad, like the word is forbidden or the word is deceit or whatever it is, I don't really take that as what it is. I just take that as the name of something. So maybe you need to check it out a little bit. Like maybe one needs to check out deceit if that's what they pulled. But this one I noticed the blue, there's a moon and a water drip on almost every single card. And I feel like the ones that I can't find it in, it's just because I can't find it. But the forbidden I feel is, I feel like it's kind of like we have to watch. Like there's 2 gargoyles sitting right by that door on either side.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like what that is it's kind of like be careful about what you almost like be careful what you invest in. I feel like we have to watch what we're investing in. And I don't mean money. I mean, I could mean money, but really I mean like investing time, energy, effort. Because I feel like I've said this a billion times and I will say it a billion more. I feel like we can't really pay attention. No, we can't pull those up that are lagging behind. We have to allow them to get up on their own. And so those who want to pull up, I just have to get rid of this Facebook thing. Those that want to pull people up, I think we have to remind them that those people won't learn the lessons and they won't be able to handle the shift if they're just pulled up rather than working their way up. So I say a lot of times you're only as strong as your weakest link. I don't mean that in a negative fashion. I mean that in the actual survival of life kind of situation. So you try to be as strong as possible because, and if one member isn't, the entire community works on making them stronger because you are only as strong as that one.
Cool.
The other one that that came out was Letting Go.
Dun, dun, dun. How connected is that?
And the number is 22. So that's a master number. You don't reduce that.
Okay.
And the first time I pulled any card out of this deck, the first time when I first got it, I pulled this card, Letting Go, and it was so, so right. So I feel like we have to actually kind of go along with that forbidden card and let go of the need to have everybody follow with us. I mean, some people, it's not their time to shift. It's not their time to ascend. And we can't, the more I think we push it, the more it causes them to either stand still or go backwards.
Cool.
Sabrina. Yeah.
I'm gonna say, am I all right? Just to quickly interject there, sweet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I've had one of the messages come through, and it's, "Hi, Sabrina. So good to see you. My name is Kerry Ann. Please, can I ask if you could connect with my sister?"
Hello. Yeah, I feel like a racy person. I feel like like it's like I really feel the heartbeat right now. It's like heavy palpitations. I don't feel like this part is in a bad way. I think it's more about how she kind of lived her life. It's like I feel like to tell you the truth, I feel like I'm sitting down having a cup of coffee, and then I notice that my friend's cup of coffee might be a little low, and it's almost like I jump up to get my friend a cup of coffee. It's like I'm reactive. I react to things rather quickly. Not in a bad way, just in a quick way. It's almost like people mention things. They don't, like, nobody would mention when she's around that they're hungry, because she would empty her fridge out, making up food for these people. And so they only mention, they don't want to mention it out of respect, because she's just so giving. I feel like there's like a lot of, it's a breathing thing. There's a breathing thing going on here. She feels something's going on with, it's Carrie Ann?
Yeah.
Yeah. She feels there's something going on with Carrie Ann, like something needs to be, like with the card, let go of. Something needs to be released. There's, I feel like there's something that's holding me back right now. And it's something that doesn't need to be holding me back. You have a message? Something about a piece of jewelry. I feel like this piece of jewelry could be on Carrie Ann. And even if it's not, like, I feel like it's either a piece of her jewelry. I'm asking her questions, and she's so quick to move around that it's almost like she's addressing things that I'm not even asking yet or at all. So I'm trying to hold on to what she's showing me, but it's either a piece of jewelry that she had or that she didn't have, but was important to both Carrie Ann and her sister. I feel like that piece of jewelry has to be worn. For some reason, it's a way that she can connect. And if it's not a piece of jewelry that Carrie Ann has, then it's something that she needs to not search for, but like, oh, it's hard. It's to go out with the intention to find this piece of jewelry, because I don't feel like if she's going to find it, I don't feel like it's something like $10,000. I feel like it's like something like this, a stone with something in it that means comfort. And I feel like maybe that Carrie needs to have that like inner confidence to say this thing that I feel like there's something she needs to say, and maybe doesn't know she has to say it yet, or maybe she does but doesn't know when the best time is.
Carrie has to say something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something, I feel like it's something for her, not to somebody, like maybe it's somebody in specific, but I feel like it's not something they're doing. I feel like it's something that Carrie feels. And because she feels this way, it might be affecting a relationship with somebody she knows. But for some reason, her sister's saying to put on something like this piece of jewelry, it somehow will carry her sister with her, or she'll feel like her sister is with her, which she is. She's always with her. There's a whole lot of energy around her. I see it swirls. I've not seen stuff move like this before. It almost swirls like chocolate in milk, you know, when you pour it in and there's that, you can see that it does like a,
it's kind of like a nice kind of young energy.
Yeah, well,
young, kind of.
I don't know about young, but it's definitely because I don't feel how old they were when they passed. I feel how old their soul is, and her soul is not very young. The sister's soul is not very young, but playful. It's definitely, she's definitely not a joker, but like a situation lightener. I don't know how to describe that any better.
Happy-go-lucky.
Kind of thing.
That's
like,
yeah. I mean, that's
like even if she wasn't happy-go-lucky, she could brighten somebody's moment. But I feel like a lot of that was because she wanted that. You know, it's kind of like she wanted something bright in her life, but maybe wasn't receiving it. So, I mean, as we're finding out now, a lot of the people who want it in their life give it. So, like, kind of like as an example. But yeah, she like, I mean, you want to know how she's doing, Carrie? She's doing great. She's like in beautiful form. She's very, very confident in the role that she has behind the veil, behind, you know, where they all go. And she's like a go-getter, like a mover and a shaker. I feel like she's the one who like, okay, ladies, line up for the soul dance, or, you know, like she kind of sets people up and gets them going. And, you know, I feel like it's a lot of, yeah, exactly, Mika. I like that sass with some love. Exactly. I love you, Mika. You're awesome.
Yeah, I know I am.
Lovely. Thanks a lot for that, kids. I know obviously that was quite important to Carrie, because I know Carrie Ann, she's a really good friend of mine, but I'm not aware of any of her circumstance or anything like that. So, like, and I know that like that was quite important, like, for her to be able to hear that. We spoke earlier on today, and Mika's very, very good friends with her children as well.
Yes.
So, but yeah, that's cool. So, any other Spirit of France crew, hurry up, get your socks on,
get it out there,
up, get it done. Yep.
She has said thank you so much for that.
There you go. She said thank you.
Sabrina.
You're welcome, Carrie.
Look, thank you so much for that.
Yep, thank you
and
so
Mummy
much.
said that, but on the end it said Sabrina.
I got you.
Sabrina.
Do you know what? I think I'm just going to take a night off and just get Sarah and Mika to host. It's going to be a lot easier, isn't it?
Please.
Do you want to swap?
No.
Yes, please.
Seriously, do you want to swap?
Please.
How cool would that be? Right.
Yes.
In the chat room, who wants to see an episode of Sarah and Mika? Put it in there, because we will make that happen. So, Sabrina, back to your cards, your new Oracle cards. Yeah, sorry to have interject there, but I know these guys are on a very, very tight time.
No problem. Okay, so the card that I actually pulled, which is super cool because, okay, remember we had Forbidden, we had Letting Go.
Let go. Yep.
In Procession, right? And then we have Love.
Oh.
And the card number is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. And this is basically the outcome of being careful of how we view things, of what we invest in, what we let come near us. Then when you're careful of that stuff and you recognize those feelings of discernment, then you let go and allow the organic, no, not organic, natural life to take its flow. Excuse me. And we end up going with the flow. And this is all about ourselves, right? Like, this is like all a line about ourselves, not, we look at this individually. And then we have love. And that's exactly what will come out of these 3 happenstances. These 3, I got to line them up because they're so, it's like a story.
We've lost you for a second. There we go. You're back again, Sabrina.
Oh, I am. So
that's amazing.
all three of them are like a storybook. I think it's like really great cards to get.
Forbidden, and then you need to let go of it, and then you'll achieve the love to be able to carry on and move on with the. That's amazing.
Well, and but the important thing about the whole circle of whatever there is that the love is everything. It is love towards ourselves. It is love towards others. It's acceptance. It's unconditional, non-judgmental. And this is learning how to let go, because like the problem is that a lot of us have these preconceived ideas of what love is supposed to be. And that's exactly what it's not. It's not a preconceived idea.
I mean, there are many forms, you know, like I love these biscuits. I love that chocolate. I love this. I love that. But to have that kind of love for something, but then to love something totally wholeheartedly without any prejudice, obligation, or anything like that, just pure selfless love, is possibly the greatest thing that anyone could ever have or ever experience.
Yeah, you got to be like Doogie.
He's currently Sarah's lapdog.
Yeah.
Dougie.
Good boy.
Doogie. Doogie. No.
Doogie.
So, there you go. He's up.
Oh,
there he is. Fascination Street dog.
Good boy. Is a good doggy.
He's like, no, I just want to go back to sleep. Let me sleep.
Why did you wake me up? What the heck?
Let's tap into these numbers, because obviously when you was going through those earlier, what numbers, or how did you learn about the numbers? I mean, I need to know about the numerology.
To tell you the
side of things.
Okay. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I might sound like a dweeb, but I don't really care, because I don't really care. I don't know the standard stuff about numbers. I'm learning that slowly and surely, because when it's something that I'm not thoroughly interested in, not that I'm not interested in numerology, it's like an all enveloping or unenveloping kind of a study. But I get feelings about numbers, and I have basic ideas about numbers, but I will tell you that anything divisible by 3 with me is an incredibly important number, and I don't know why. 8, I know why. 8 is an incredibly important number, because it is the symbol of infinity. So it's also one of those numbers that can be divided all the way down. To tell you the truth, I get a feeling from numbers, and if I had to put that feeling into words, I could, but it's individual people that I get that feeling for the numbers. So like this one, it's a little bit like, which was the card that I just looked at? Shoot, I think I put it. So 1. I'll say the 1 card, the 10, which is 1 plus 0, which is 1. So what I get from that is that is a primary card. That is number 1. Obviously primary means number 1. It is like kind of like the number that everything is based off of. So it's kind of like a number that holds all aspects of 1 to 9. Well, 1 to 11, but 1 to 9. Because it's like a zodiacs. If people believe in the zodiac or astrology, astrology, every sign has a portion of the other sign in it. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It has very little influence from any other sign. But if you go down the line, then Taurus has influence from Aries. And then Gemini has influence from Taurus and Aries. So I'm Pisces. I have influence from every single one of them, because I'm the last in the line. So that's kind of how I look at the numbers. It's like,
what about Scorpio?
Scorpio? Yeah. Oh, Scorpio is fantastic. Especially men, because yeah, exactly. Because Scorpio men are, interestingly, they are one of the feeling men, but they don't actually feel that ashamed of their feelings. Not only do they not feel ashamed of their feelings, they're actually good at expressing them, which is a problem I find a lot of men have, is that they've been told and trained and taught how not to be a feeling person. And especially men these days, our boys aren't going to be like this, because we give them that freedom.
Want wear eyeliner, moisturize, use face packs, be a man.
Exactly, be a man. Put these in the bags. little dabs all over your face. So manly. But like that
Absolutely.
doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. And
no, same as I'd rather have, you know, it's easier to build strong children than sort of fix broken adults, right?
that's right. And I tell my son all the time, you know what? If you're feeling sad or if you're feeling frustrated, you can cry. Go ahead and cry. Run away like a, you know, like a movie character and cry, and then come back when you're feeling better and let's talk about it. But, you know, to me, crying is really, really important that people understand that that is the most healthy way to release any kind of blocked energy. The most healthy
Absolutely.
way.
It's such a positive move. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit that I do it. And I do. I mean, normally I wait till I'm on my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do, because I'm very, very in touch. And it's not until I kind of started going down like the road of finding out who I am, what I'm really about, and stuff like that I found it was perfectly okay. Because I used to keep things bottled up.
Yep.
I really, really did. And I'm sure if any of my workmates are still watching, they will tell you that I've got no problem now walking up to someone and just saying, look, man, you're out of order. Or I'll just keep the peace because I know it'll just cause a whole situation, walk out and then just take five.
Yep.
But yeah, being in contact with your own emotion, I mean, I think that is probably possibly one of the best ways of being able to honor your very own divine masculine.
And
as well as also recognizing divine feminine, then completes the full divine masculine.
Right. But it also helps you to recognize your gifts. I mean, people are saying, you know, like, how can I improve my skills? How can I hone my skills? Well, you can't right now because you have to learn to feel. And in order to, because it's a whole language, it's not just, you know, talking to people who have passed or talking to animals or talking to people psychically or telepathically. It's not just that. It's all encompassing. The reason why I believe that I have the skills, the availability to the skills that I have is because I have dealt with a lot of stuff by crying. And I will get mad. Oh my goodness, you should see my backyard has been aerated 5 million times by my shovel and me. Like, like I literally, I have big, oh my goodness, I have a metal barrel out back, a burn barrel, and it was all it was just, it died. But we haven't killed it, right? And I was like, oh, I'll kill you. I will kill you. And I took the shovel and I went to,
and I mean, I'm probably sure
on it.
Pat there as well. I'm sure Pat will actually mention that, like, my ears are a very big part of my power too. By the way, before I go any further,
actually,
to prove a point from this morning, if you'd like to watch.
Oh Lord.
I can wiggle them, Patrick. Oh yes, I can wiggle them.
No, Jimmy, you can flap them.
You could be a flying man.
One more time, just for Patrick.
Your ears are really clean, Jimmy.
What do you expect? Face this moisturized girlfriend.
Pat did say that you must be having a bad ear day. Mark said you've got a restraining order on your ears.
Yep.
And then Mark says you're very aerodynamic.
I'm very aerodynamic. In fact, the movable wing on the McLaren Senna was based on my ears. Little people know that.
And he said
here we go,
video day was awesome. And holy shit, he's a flapper.
Whoa.
There you go.
Then your mum said, stop it, James.
Oh, God, mum's here.
James.
And she's even used James, not Jimmy. James.
And Mark
my cheeks.
Said, cut those ears, Dumbo.
Right, one more time then, Mark. One more time.
Oh, that is funny. I don't know if you're so aerodynamic as you are, you know, those things, like you're like a drag racer, right? Like you throw the flag out or you throw the parachute out when you're running. Do you have to like pin them back when you're running?
Very gifted boy.
Yes,
Mum, thank you very much, Mum, because you made a legend and I love you. Yes, Mum, my mum's in the chat room, Sabrina, so.
Oh. Hello.
No, James.
I love your voice.
No, James. Oh, it's all gone wrong. She's thrown out the James.
Yes. Well, luckily you haven't heard anything yet about the other thing.
The other thing?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing?
She's not coming on then.
What, Nanny? No,
Does that mean she's not coming on then?
well,
Mark said you're
considering-
a good person.
considering grandmother is at work somewhere else, I'd say that's very highly unlikely, Mika. The other
Why?
thing, what other thing would that be?
Well, the fact that you're forgetting right now is pretty classic of what the other thing is.
What?
Do, do,
You see-
do, 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 do.
You see, I'm a very forgetful person, Sabrina. Half the time, I couldn't even tell you who I've got coming on my show.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
I know that. I was playing dumb with you, girlfriend. However, I would like to point out something that I haven't forgotten, which I probably will unless I put it out now, is Kelly and I are working on getting up and running our new podcast, and it's called Inside the Auditorium. This is an exclusive, Fascination Street exclusive. Carry on, Mika. Dance for me. Dance for your money. Oh, yeah. So, yep, we're working on just the simplistic bits now of how to make it across the Atlantic, but it will be coming out it is called Inside. It's called Inside the Auditorium. There we go. We've got a name on it, so now all we've got to do is get it out there.
Nice.
I love it.
I love it.
Love it.
I adore it.
Totally. Yeah, go on. Fist bumps.
Oh,
Ah. And by the way,
wait,
Mummy, did you hear that nasty Australian man Trana's calling your little boy a freak? Go and hit him for me. And Patrick Breeze, pull his beard.
Oh.
Right, so Sabrina, as we were, sorry. So yeah, so going into the whole sort of like love thing and everything. I mean, I know I talk about it a lot, but it is genuinely so important.
It is.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of people out there, and I think their world would be so much more better. I mean, I was really, really fortunate growing up, even though we didn't have a great deal. I mean, the love that I received from like my mum, you know, my dad, my grandmother, my aunt, as I mentioned on Kelly's show last night about all the really strong warrior women around me that I was brought up with, you know, and I think that was like one of the real big kind of like building blocks to who I really am. And also my best friend, you know, he genuinely played such a big part in my development growing up because he was like a lot older. But again, he was someone else that was all about forgiveness. He was all about love. And when you're like a teenager and you're going through so much personal conflict as it is, who am I? What am I all about? You know, hormones, you know, this, that, and the other. And like to have like a guy that was like really kind of steadied me along that road. You know, it's kind of like the intermediary, kind of the bit where like your parents stop.
Yep.
They get to, although your parents are always there for you your whole life, they will always guide you and everything like that. Because my mum is so important to me. I love my mum dearly. She is the world to me.
I love my nanny and my mom.
Sometimes you love your mum.
Whoa!
I'm joking.
Your mum has said I will, James.
And
my baby boy.
Yeah, and you know, I know my mum was always there. My mum was always the one to pull me back in, especially when I had problems, whether it be with drugs or things like that. My mum always pulled me back into line, and that I will always be grateful for. But you know, when my best friend kind of took over, that's what I needed at that time in my life to show that you don't always have to be in conflict. You don't always have to fight. You don't always have to. You can just get through. Just ignore certain situations and you let them go. You don't have to rise to everything, everyone. So, and again, you know, through that, I learned proper love.
Yeah.
And then when I became a parent.
Yeah. And then you really learn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just outrageous.
I think it's really important too that, like, I mean, this is probably going to be geared towards a little bit more because I feel it's going that way. But it's really important for men to and boys to recognize the differences in same-sex friendships. You know, like you can find that one best friend that you can open up to, and you can love without feeling judged or misguided or whatever that feeling is. And then you can kind of, when you're lucky enough to have that, you can base other friendships, not exactly off of that, but you can base what you got from one friendship and then figure out how to get something similar with other people. And I think that, like, really, since the patriarchal leadership type idea has taken over the earth, when religions really started to come in, and like more, it's like autocratic leadership, and or just one. Like they say it's democracy in most of the countries, but it's really, it is, yes, in voting, but in leadership, you really don't know much about what's going on in the country. So it's kind of like you're voting on the first four letters of a law being passed or something like that. So it's really vague. But I find that when the patriarchal, in my experiences of being able to I'm going to get all weird here, being able to understand that time is an illusion, being able to whatever, go back into a different moment and hold that moment and feel it.
Transmute.
Thank you. And
that's all right.
I couldn't find the words. But to be able to do that, and for me to see that the people really, the men really started to lose their individuality. It's like men have become a large scale mass, and they have to behave the same way, and they have to do the same things. And like the individuality has come out from that. And that's just so unfair, you know, because like, I mean, unless you're interested in cars, computers, guitars, you know, if you're interested in ballet, I know you're interested maybe in all of those, but if you're interested in ballet, that is 100% okay. You know, if you're interested in ballet, ballet, man, it probably makes you a way better boyfriend. But anyways, yeah, process that way.
The ability to be able to go dress shopping without sitting there and like, are we done yet? That would probably make you the better one, or sort of like being able to identify what accessories go with what clothing.
With what, yeah.
I think that would make a pretty good one as well.
Yeah, that would make a good one. Although I don't do any of those. So I mean, really, I want to go to like the I don't know. I like to shoot guns, but I don't like to kill anything. But I love shooting guns. That's fun. And I like doing I don't know if you guys have paintball over there.
Yay!
Yeah. So I'm like, I am good. So I love that.
It was invented by Canadians, wasn't it?
I don't know, but we have a lot of it.
Yeah. Paintballing was, I think it was a couple of tree surgeons. They were going around marking the trees, and then decided to have like a little bit of a lark about, and then it took off from there. Or at least that's the story that I was told. Because when I was in the army, I was in the medical wing, and you used to be able to have a choice. If you were there for the weekend, then you could stay and do paintballing, as well as sort of like other various activities, or you could get weekend leave and things like that. So yeah, but where I was on my barracks, we had like this simulated town would have been over to the north of the barracks, and it was all run down, all derelict, and you got like a wooded area with trench systems and so forth around it. So that was it. You just used to sort of like throw your money in, and then it'd pay for your gas canister, your paintballs, and it used to be great. And I remember being shot in my tattoo there, and it was a point blank range, and this thing came out like half a golf ball, and it took about a month to heal.
Can I go paintball?
Yeah. And we kind of had the same thing. Well, we have the same thing in one of the areas around here. We have different setups. So one's like an old West town, one's a school bus with a jail, and one's like, it's a few different things. But like, man, we were a misfit. We went into this paintball tournament, and it was 90 people. And like, literally, my team were the misfits. Like, we were like the ones who were like not picked, but we came in late. We, just a whole bunch of accidents that happened. And we ended up being kind of tossed together because we were the last ones there. And we're like, well, let's just have fun with it. And we ended up like, the only reason we didn't win is because I got shot in the back. And if you get shot and it explodes, you don't win, right? And it was a capture the flag one. And I had it in my hand. I was running back to the jailhouse, and I got shot, but it didn't explode. And I thought it did. I couldn't see. So I was like, juggernaut.
When you're playing it, and like, you've got people sitting up in trees. Hello? What? Seriously, you're not going to do that. Why? It's a game. Enjoy it.
I know.
You know, but you've got people that are going like full Vietnam there. You know, they're sort of like doing the face, putting the knife in the boot, run. Ah!
I know.
It's like, oh
and
God.
we had this team that was so so spread out in different types of people. We actually looked like the softies. Everybody thought that we were the softies, even though I was a bouncer. They're like, oh, she probably can't aim. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, sorry, bud. Sorry about that. Got you in the shoulder. I splattered some on your face because you just said I can't
Lively
shoot.
little bug of this one.
Yeah. But then, like, literally, we went from being the misfit team to the only reason that we lost the entire tournament is because I thought I got shot in the back. I did get shot, but I thought it exploded. That was our last round, and we were in first all the way through. I was like, oh, yeah, this is us. Here we are. And then at the end, we had this one guy who was like all hardcore. He had his own everything and da-da-da-da-da. Oh, his gun was worth this. And I said, you know what's funny is I got the really crappy gun that they supplied to you at the place, like crappy. Like literally, if I wanted to shoot you, instead of going like this, I had to go like this.
At a 30-degree angle on the barrel.
Literally. And so I got used to that. I adapted. But yeah, he had this gun, this high, like literally $1,500 gun. And he was bragging about everything. And I was like, so you have all that, and I shot you with a gun that I have to turn 45 degrees away from you. So yeah,
Does that hurt? Does that hurt?
I think it shows skill a little bit there. I'm just saying. So, but like that's so much fun.
Could have you like done a roll or something to make it dramatic?
Full-on commando roll.
Yeah.
I did like 5 rolls. I did a jump into a like they had a barricade, so it was just an angle this way, and then covered on the sides. But they had angle iron to hold it in a square at the bottom so that it didn't tip over in the wind or something, right? Wow. Oh my goodness! I dove into that whatever barricade, and I got the angle iron right in my knee. Oh, it hurt. Yeah, oh, it hurt. It hurt. And I was like, oh, don't cry because the guys are around and they'll call me a wimp. I can't cry.
Yeah, but that's something that I think even a guy would cry at.
Oh, it hurt. It hurt. And then I got the leading shot. So I was like, okay, well, that was worth it, I guess. And the cool thing is the shot was so far away that I had to shoot in the sky. And I went, doof, and I shot in the sky and I saw my paintball land right beside the barricade. I was like, okay, move it a half a millimeter over the other way. And I see the paintball land right in there. I'm out. Yeah.
I bet you were killer at that little old game Tanks where you had to kind of blow the other one up and you sort of like move it along a little bit, fire, and then.
Is it a video game or you actually?
Yeah, it used to be an old video game.
Oh.
And it was like just 2 tanks. You had your tank, enemy tank, and then like you'd have a choice of terrain. So sometimes that'd be down a hole, or you'd be down a hole, and you'd have to kind of like move it a little bit, angle the barrel a bit, and then. You never played that?
Yeah, no. I'm good with trajectory though. I'm really good with physics.
Right, I'm going to find that on Android and I'm going to send you the link. It's got to be on there, surely. But I used to spend days just sat there playing it. Playing
around with it. I would too. I love that stuff. Like I don't like actual going out there and doing that, but I like in actuality. I'm not into that. I'm not into hitting living things.
No. Apart from some people, they really need to be hit.
Yeah. But even then, I'd probably just like get a gun.
You know who you are.
It's not me. I know that.
I'm going to spin you round for a second to our producer, Sarah. Are you ready?
Absolutely. I am.
Right, self.
Music, please, maestro.
Da, 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 da. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Are you calling me a dinosaur?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Cheeky monkey.
You're a pterosaurus.
A pterosaur. Oh, Mika, you're awesome. Hi, Sarah.
I know I am. I'm brilliant.
Dearie me. Okay, you were talking earlier about the star signs and about obviously the scorpions and things like that. Mark has asked, what about Cancerians?
What about them? Are they awesome? They are. They're the lovers. Or shall I say the understanders? Because yeah, I would say understanders. They're really good at understanding people, and even if they don't, they're good at seeing outside of their own mind to experience how another might see, feel, hear something. I find that they're also, especially the females, they're the peacekeepers. Like empathy is certainly something that is very much in the forefront of their operating systems. Cancers are usually really good with understanding behavior. So like people, animal, and patterns a lot of the times can be figured out. I think usually cancers have somewhat of issue with words. Like I feel like, okay, the way I'm seeing it is like letters put together. It's almost like cancers have this ability to see wording differently. And so when they see certain letters put together, it almost confuses them. So I feel like what they can do is switch things up. Like if a C is supposed to go first and then an R, they might do the R and then the C. And I find that this is something typical because they're very much water creatures. So anybody who's a water creature, I mean, they are water and land, but they have their defenses for the water. And I find with water and water signs that ripply, it's like ripply thinking. It's hard to explain. So it would be easy for me in my mind to see that somebody would see like the word fascination, having an FASC, right? I could see that being FACS or something along that line because of that. There's so much part of both worlds. It's kind of like I mean, literally water and land. I feel a lot of the times cancers are kind of those people that can live or not live near water. But the power that they get from water when they live near it is like undeniable. Even standing near water, like especially like right now I'm seeing heavy rapids, like you know, where you can't even hear the person standing beside you when they're talking because they're such strong rapids. And the energy that a Cancerian can get from that water, that frictious water energy is just like amazing. I feel like when they're near waterfalls, they're just like, oh, what would it be like to jump in? Although don't do that at Niagara Falls, Canada, okay?
Not a good idea.
Yeah.
He's also said that Nikola Tesla was fascinated with the numbers 3, 6, and 9. What is the significance?
Oh boy, that is travel. That is energy. That is connection. That is every single thing that a person is trying to achieve in this world. Okay, you want to know something funny? I posted this clip on my business page a little while back, and it was David Bowie. I don't remember who he was talking to. I think it was 1995 or 1992, something like that. I love David Bowie. And David Bowie also played Tesla in, I think it's like The Illusionist.
Yeah. The Illusionist.
Yeah, with Hugh Jackman and Edward Norton.
Hugh Jackass, yeah.
Yeah. And, but he captivated me in that movie. It's not so that it was an amazing movie, but just David Bowie captivated me. But anyways, what he had done is he had said about internet, how he had seen what internet was going to do in 1995 and how it was going to take people by storm and so on and so forth. So the reason I'm using that correlation is because David Bowie was Tesla. And when he was Tesla in this movie, I have never had such a feeling of looking at a person from history in an actor. I saw Tesla in David Bowie. And so the whole 3, 6, and 9 thing is it's got everything to do with harnessing electromagnetic energy in order to power our planet, power our pods, our.
Wait, I want to pause you guys for a second because it really bothered me that you guys said it was The Illusionist and it's not. It was
No, what is it?
It was The Prestige, and it was the one with
Thank you.
Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman, not the other movie you guys were talking about.
Okay, thank you. I knew it was wrong. I knew it.
The
Thank you,
voice
Kelly.
from above.
The voice from above.
The voice from above who actually liked that movie, and I was sitting here and I was like, no, it's wrong. Everything they just said is wrong.
Kelly, stop hijacking the show.
I'm sorry. Bye.
I love you, Kelly. Thank you so much for clearing that up because I knew it was wrong. And I was talking to my hubby and he's like, I think it's The Illusionist. I'm like, no, it's got like, it's a different name. But yeah, The Prestige. And oh man, but the whole like the pods, that's what it is. It's also the energy to power up our pods for like the stuff that are waiting here for us to go. But we can't. Tesla, crazy SOB, he knew all this stuff. He knew it. He was a part of this. He was privy to this. He wasn't, I don't feel he was from here.
No.
And I really feel like those numbers, they all, obviously they're all divisible by 3 and nothing else. So that's super cool. But also, I really see on a triangle. So I'm really based on triangles. I really see the 3, the 6, and the 9 every time I see a triangle. So I feel like there's some sort of I know that there's a language in these 3 numbers. And I know that if you start to use these 3 numbers in a certain way, that the language is going to start to be able to be noticed by people like us. But Tesla, he knew that. He saw it. He knew it. He tried to explain it. People thought he was super crazy. And then they just dispersed all his crap all over the world because they were like, no, we can't allow this to get out because he knows everything.
He does. I had this very same conversation with someone a little while ago that there was, I reckon with the technology, he either summoned something or something found him because of the energy that was being emitted at that time. Because I was having a conversation with one of the girls that I work with, and Tesla was Serbian, wasn't he? And I know that at the moment they're trying to get his work back to the country, but the Americans have vetoed it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So.
And there's lots of information like that. Like I get lots of stuff from the future and from the past because time is an illusion in our fashion and like the linear time. We all know that. We all agree with it. We all try to figure out how it works and how it happens. We have some NASA scientists that are able to explain it in some way that even they don't fully understand what it is and how it operates. So we're only like, we're being educated by slightly more educated people. It's not like we're being educated by those who know. So the stuff that I've seen, like a lot of my stuff ties into Tesla and I can't explain it and I don't know how to prove it. But even my husband, we are so drawn to that man and to that name. But I've seen many times books. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the, oh my goodness, I've forgotten what it's called. I have it in my bookcase.
Welcome to my world.
Right? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Anyways, it's a book. Oh, that's bugging me. It's really bugging me. I know the name of this book like nobody's business, but there's a reason I forgot it. So anyways, it was found quite a few hundred years ago, and it has no men in the book. And it has plants that look like they're not even from here, how to grow them, what their root system is like and looks like. Oh, I almost had it. And
have you got it in your book collection?
The Voynich manuscript, that's what it's called. And my husband bought me this book for I forget what. I was just super excited to see it. I was like, oh my gosh. And it has like the actual book itself has pages that fold out and into like a poster kind of thing. So you can see how the star systems work with how to grow these different types of plants, how to pull in the most energy for the plants that need these. Every single person in it is a woman. And there's no mistakes, not one mistake in the entire book, the entire written book. Now, as soon as I was watching this program, now I don't go, when I watch programs, I don't go by what the people say in the program because there's a whole different conversation going on in my head. So while I watch these things, like a lot of the times when I'm watching like Egyptian shows, I'm like, no, 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 that didn't happen. No, that's not how it happened. And it's very clear to me. So I saw this Voynich manuscript being discovered by this man. But what it is it's the earth guide. So what I mean by that is like dirt, you know, like what you can do on and in the dirt of the earth, right? This is what you need to plant. This is how you need to water it. This is how you need to feed it. This is when it needs to bloom, da, 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 da. But there are 4 other books, 4 other books. And we haven't found them yet. This was just found by some man, I forget his first name, but the last name's Voynich. And they say that it's from, they dated it. And we're finding out more and more that carbon dating is not at all, accurate.
Yeah.
They think it is, but it is not. So they carbon dated it, and it's far older than what they say, far, 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 far older. Anyways, there's 4 other books, and these 4 other books have to do with each other element, right? So this is the earth one. So then there's one for water, one for fire, one for air. And then there's a 5th one, which is to do with the cosmos. So, and the funny thing is the man found this book in the dirt, just on and in the dirt. He came across it and, weird, and picked it up and took it with him. Well, the interesting thing with the other ones is like, I see the one, now these are all perceptions. I'm not saying it's going to be exactly like this, but like I see the water one bubbling up, and some dude, I'm going to say in Italy, it doesn't have to be Italy, but I'm just seeing an Italian in a rowboat. And some dude's going to have this bubbling water beside him and like, what the? And all of a sudden this book is going to come out of this bubbling water, and it's going to be in an ornate box, just like the other book was in. So I don't know if they said that the Voynich manuscript was found in an ornate box. And what I see it is, it's like bronze, silver, copper, and it's a box that has much like detailing, but nothing that looks familiar to us. So anyway, so this one in the water is going to bubble up. They're going to find the fire one in a super volcano, and they're going to find the air one. And funny enough, my husband knows all of these. He's my memory, but he said me that they're going to find the air one because it's going to like on a plane or something in the air. Somehow it's going to be somehow stuck to something. And then like landing gear, maybe even. And then when it comes down or when they open it up, they're going to be like, what the? And so this is how I see it coming. And then the 5th one from the cosmos is going to be given to us. And I feel like this has something to do kind of with the official first contact. I really feel like there's going to be something coming from that to do with the books. So the interesting thing about the book is there's not one mistake written in the words, or one mistake in the words, and they cannot decipher the language that it's written in. There are people out there on YouTube that think they know. I'm telling you they don't, because you have to be able to speak light language. You have to be able to know the differences, the slight differences in the tones of light language, because lots of the light languages are similar. And do you guys know what light language is?
No, please enlighten us.
Oh, okay. Okay, light language is a language that my girlfriend does quite a bit of physical light language. I'm learning, it's coming out of me as I'm doing this stuff as well. But what it is it's got no judgment. It's got no emotions attached to the language. So you're able to get the message very, very fast. And it can be things like you speak with your body. Like a lot of the times you do weird things with your hands, and you can speak it in words, not words, but sounds. They are words, but it sounds like a weird language. You can speak it in painting or colors, like they use symbols and colors together. And these symbols and colors, just by looking at them, can activate certain things in your mind, in your DNA that you need to have activated in order to understand light language. And what it comes from is it's coming from up there, wherever. Like I get it from quite a few of the different beings, the non-physical beings that I speak with. And like literally I can, if one said, what does this planet look like? I could probably go there. I could go there and be on the planet and look around and say what I feel it looks like. So when we talk about going away and trying to speak telepathy and doing all this, I have experienced so much of this, and now the light language is starting to come in, so I can start to speak with them, which this kind of speaking was always going on, but not this kind. So I find it really interesting.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really awesome.
The
Yeah.
author of the book is Wilfrid Voynich.
So the Voynich manuscripts.
The Voynich, no, just Voynich manuscript.
All right. Okay.
And the only I should get it. Like Yale has it in their university, and you have to like book appointments to go and look at it because so many people have been trying to figure out.
You could probably get it on archive.org because that's where I get a lot of my old books and resources from, and you can normally download it free from there. Or if you have an account with them, you can actually borrow it from their library online.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I have it.
I'll send you the link afterwards.
Should I get it? It's just around the corner. I don't know. Can I?
What?
Can I get it?
What, the archive.org?
No, the book.
Oh, have you got it with you?
Well, I got it just around the corner. It'll be like 4 seconds.
Yeah, go for it. Go for
Okay.
it. I'll spin back round and we'll just do a little.
Welcome to Fascination Street.
Welcome back,
Jimmy and
folks.
Mika.
Right, well, as we were doing the questions and we were chatting with Sabrina, we found out that today in our chat room we've got Tinette and it's her birthday. So,
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday once again. It's time to wish you a happy birthday. Time to sing a birthday song. You're 365 days older now you were last year. 365 days older now. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday once again.
happy birthday, Tinette. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Tinette.
Right, okay, you've milked it enough now, Tinette. Right, back to the show.
Wow. Embarrassing.
We love Tinette.
Yeah, we
I
do.
have to take the plastic off of here because it's annoyingly loud. All right.
That's all right. Oh, wow.
Here is the front of the book without the plastic on it. It doesn't say Voynich or anything. The plastic does.
Okay.
But, so I don't know if you can see that. Do you see that? That's like a calendar.
Yep.
That is
Oh, wow.
beautiful.
Look at that.
Right?
Getting a bit closer, Mika. I don't think you can get a bit closer, Mika. I don't think you can see it. That's it. Right in there. There we go.
Okay.
Right, back up. Back up. That is amazing.
Mika, all
We've lost you, Sabrina.
Okay, so I'm just going to flip to page. Oh, how about now? How about now?
You back?
Now? Yay! It's because I opened the Voynich manuscript. Too
Ooh.
much.
Oh, no, we're losing you.
Really?
You back? You're back. Yep.
Yeah, I am? Okay. Wow,
Yep.
this book has a lot of energy.
No guff, Chet. Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Okay,
That
I'm
is
going to go
amazing.
into the words. Look at that.
That is amazing.
That looks like very old words.
Old writing, yeah.
Like very, very, very old writing.
And that is, wow. That's that.
I got to find a bigger page. There's better pages that you can see the writing on it. But
Okay.
when I first saw this book, my heart, oh my goodness, palpitated. I was excited and jumping and I couldn't figure out what was going on. But man, it's so cool. So what they do is they do it page by page. And what had happened is that it's hard to see, but the pages bled through. They became really, really thin and bled through. So it was hard for people to look and decipher. But I'm trying to find one of the pages with the people on it. Well, oh, that's too big. There.
That's what she said. Oh, wow.
All ladies.
Wow.
Hang on. 3, 6, 7, 8.
So it's probably killing Sabrina's arms holding it up.
2, 4,
Yeah,
6,
yeah. So
8, 10,
count them
12,
again.
14.
So 1,
16.
Mississippi. 2,
Mississippi.
That is
3,
amazing.
But
Mississippi.
look at the writing there.
Looks like old.
And how long have they been trying to decipher that for? Sorry, you didn't need that anyway.
No.
Is it bad?
Ouch, that's on my foot.
Is it bad?
Ouch.
Oh, yeah. I've got a box of Kleenexes.
Oh, sorry, it's a drink. I thought something really bad. Oh,
It's water. Oh, it's shit. It's coming over here.
you haven't got nothing electrical there, have you?
No, thank goodness. Not right there.
Crikey.
Ouch, you hurt my foot.
It was like a whole glass of water.
What'd you go and do that for?
Yeah, dropping it.
It's too big.
Seriously?
What are you doing?
Why? You're better than that, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Right, so the simple lesson we've learned here is don't invite Sabrina around for a cuppa, whatever you do, because she will only chuck it all over the floor.
And she'll hurt your foot.
Do you know what? Those things that Chuck said when we first met Sabrina, he's not far off the point, is he? Oh, no, that's not exactly a small... At least the glass didn't break.
Oh, no, it didn't, but it was about that full.
Yay!
Yeah.
Swimming pool.
That's all right. What we'll do is we'll fill in time while Sabrina's doing housework.
Will you
Okay,
please?
right.
Because I gotta get it done.
Go,
Sorry.
Sabrina!
What?
Right, so that means that all of you out there have still got plenty of time to get your questions in for Sabrina.
And you've got to be very
Because,
careful when spring
to be
comes
fair,
around the house.
You're not asking as many as you normally do.
No. What's
So
up?
do you think it's the show? Are we not doing the show right?
Is it because I
Wait,
keep spilling things?
That's all right. We'll just have to... It'll probably be different when you and Mummy do an episode of Fascination Street.
Yeah, because everyone's already said that.
I've already told them that you're the comedy duo, not me.
I'm not comedy. I'm not funny. There's nothing funny about me apart from my ears. One more time. One more time.
Go on, get close. Get real
And
close.
wait.
Almost done.
Yeah!
Other side. Look, see? Both ears.
And do you want me to show you my magic trick?
No, don't do that.
Ding, ding, ding!
That's all right. Oh,
And
All right.
also this.
Good. Oh, I hope
Right.
I.
oh, you missed a bit.
Yeah,
I
you missed
did
the
it.
bit we can see.
Yeah, missed a bit. We can see it there.
Yeah. We can see it on your hat. Little bit.
Ah,
Right, so are you all back to normal then, love?
I think so. It's been that kind of a day today.
Do you know what? The thing is, though, is if I was you and I'd do that, I wouldn't just stop there. While someone else is filling, I'd be like, oh, that bit there needs doing as well. So I'll just quickly go over and do that. And then that bit needs to... I'd be gone for a good hour.
Yeah.
But anyway, as I was saying, archive.org, if you don't know about it, it's a wonderful repository of different old books, old manuscripts. You can get like really, really good sort of like old government documentation and thing like that.
Ooh.
I found it a little while ago, and a lot of the ufology documentation and paperwork that I have, I've downloaded off of there, and it's all
Wow.
free. It is all free. If you want,
Wow.
I mean, you can have an account on there, and then you can save these bits and pieces to your profile, or you just download them to your phone, and it saves directly into your Google Drive if you're on Android. So it is truly amazing. I've got so many different books. Yeah, it's
That's
such
so
a good,
cool.
yeah, archive.org.
I gotta look it up. I'm gonna write it down.
That's
I
why I'll
think
send you a
know-
link straight after, Sabrina.
Oh yeah, right. You said that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
See,
Yeah.
you're forgetting things.
Listen, I have never ever said that I'm a rememberer.
Yeah,
I
but you
get
didn't
it.
say that you weren't.
No, I didn't. Oh, you got me there.
What's up? Right. Okay. So
I don't want to miss where I am.
you don't want to miss any. So do you want me to spin you back round? Right, Sabrina, I've got to spin you back round, right, round.
Absolutely.
You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record player.
Right,
Sarah
round.
Trotter.
Sarah Pearson.
Yeah, I don't want to miss too many questions, so I want to do like get 4 in at a time if I can.
Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. Jeff has asked, what is the significance of a 7-pointed star?
Let me get that info. I feel like what it is it's going through, I feel like it's something to go farther. Like, okay, so I look at the stars, like what their points are doing, like a 5 or a 6. I see that as like kind of like levels of dimensions kind of thing. I feel like what the 7 one is has to do with distance. So like those who use the 7 for travel or such would probably be able to like hook that into their computer and go like their ship computer and go farther. So I know that there's a significance here. I'm asking Melchizedek to show me what the significance is and tell me what the significance is. And he's telling me from his point of view, it is that there's a key to the distance. It's like, not so much, I said dimensions, but it's not so much the 7 one doesn't have to do that. It's the super high dimensions. It's got to do with the distance. So I feel like if you were to say, put into your pod or your traveling machine, you put in a 7-pointed star, you're going to be going to like really far away. I feel like that's kind of like an area of the cosmos, something like how do you say that? I'm trying to find words to express what I'm saying, and they're really difficult because I feel like there's not really words for this stuff. It's like not ascended masters, because ascended masters are now energy, but like higher on the hierarchy beings carry around the 7-pointed star. I mean, he showed it to me. Melchizedek showed it to me when you asked the question. So I hear the question, I say the exact same thing that you're saying at the same time that you're saying it. So maybe like a millisecond delay. I hear you say it, I say it. I hear you say it, I say it in my own head. And then they answer me. And as soon as I said that, he showed me like a scepter. It almost looked like a longer than a wand, but like a scepter. And he held the end of it. It almost had like a space specifically for his hand. And then he like dips it and matches it up into a 7-star pointed star spot on like a operating, like on Star Trek where all the buttons are.
Control panel.
Thank you. Control panel. Words are not my friends. They are. But like, it's something like that. Like, I feel like you put it in there and then those beings can go super far. So because I've been introduced to 12 of the
oh no, Sabrina, we
the
lost
highest star beings. But now.
Oh.
Now.
Have you got any extra open windows on your device or anything?
No, I don't.
No. Right. Okay, you're back in the room now. So sorry, darling. We've got as far as control panel.
I'm literally sure. I mean, I'm not literally. I am pretty dang sure that the reason it's doing it is because we're talking about such high energy. I'm pulling in a lot right now. My chest is super hot. So are my hands. So is my head. So I'm pretty sure that I'm affecting this. It seems to happen. So, oh my goodness. You know what I just had in my head while we were talking about that? Remember the movie Signs? Anybody see that movie?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you know how the little girl kept on holding the water? She kept on being told to keep the glasses of water around the house.
Uh-huh.
You do remember that? and then I knock over the water and it's all over my floor right now. And the energy's kind of messing up the TV or the screen on the computer. Interesting. Synchronicities. If I figure it out, it's got to be something.
Oh.
Interesting. Yeah, but and I'm talking about the 12 high star council beings. So there's a lot of energy that comes from that. I'm learning that no matter what we think we know, we don't know anything. Nothing. So people say we have science and science is supposed to prove stuff. Well, yeah, sure, it can prove it if you've got the tools to work with it. But we don't have any of the tools to work with the stuff that we're actually trying to prove. So, you know, that's a little bit of a joke to say that you can't prove it. Well, you can't prove it because you don't have the tools to do it. But yeah, so the 12, the High Council of the 12, the High Star Council, they are all like, I went up there once and I met all 12 of them. And then Melchizedek was with me and he was straight across from me. So there were 6 on either side of him and then he was in the middle. And I'm literally saying he is Gandalf. I am not kidding you. It is, what's his name?
Dexter.
No, yeah, but what's his name?
Yep, Ian McKellen.
Thank you, Ian McKellen. It's literally him, and he's standing there and he's showing me to all these people, right? And I keep on calling him Gray because Gandalf the Grey, right? But I was standing he was standing in the middle, I was standing in the middle, and immediately it was like this is why love is really important. It was like something, language, shot out my chest, and it went to each one it went to one, and then it kind of passed through all of them until it came back to me. And the way that it looked was a triangle. And there were 12 of them, which is also divisible by 3. So there was like this interesting conversation that went around with energy only. There were no words. And even when they tried to speak words, they said, no, we don't. We don't. It's all about this connection. And they don't say it. When I say they say it, I mean they showed me that in emotions and feelings. And because I'm so in touch with my emotions and feelings, like when I'm angry, everybody knows it. And I don't work on hiding it. I'm not going to be somebody else because somebody's uncomfortable with my anger. You got a problem with it? Go. I'm not keeping anybody here, but I'm not going to change how I feel and who I am because it makes somebody else uncomfortable. That's their problem. They can work on that. And so because I'm so firm in my emotions, I mean, people used to try to tell me to stop being a baby when I was a kid. Oh my goodness, the fights I got into, let me tell you. Stop being a baby? Oh, let me show you a baby, baby.
Yeah,
and,
bitch.
you know, right? Like you think of, well, okay, let's go. Come on. It's a fisticuffs moment. But you know it. Right? And all because I was told to be somebody I wasn't. I'm an emotional being. I am incredibly emotional. Not overly. I'm not going to walk into people and be like, oh my God, my day was horrible. I don't do that.
No.
But I don't hide that either. So if my day is kind of crappy, I kind of fizzle it down with understanding that it's just today. It's a crappy day. Yes, it is, but it's just today. And maybe it's just this moment. Maybe in 20 moments, I'll be better. Anyways, so the love was able to go through and the emotions were able to go through and they were able to talk to me with emotions. And from these emotions, I was able to hear words and I saw the process happen. And what I'm hearing so much is what like we're learning about on the Sandia Crew group, right? Like, I mean, all of the stuff that you guys are talking about has been mentioned, brought up, or shown to me in one way or another. Not everything. I don't know like technical stuff. I have access to that technical stuff. But like, I really enjoy where I'm going with this energy because I can totally hear all of the people, but then I also hear the fear that a lot of them are bringing into the conversation and bringing into the, to them. And the thing about fear is that blocks any communication in any language from us, from me to you, or from me to them, or from me to Melchizedek, like my guide. It blocks all of that information. And yes, we can be fearful, but I don't know a warrior that's never been fearful. I would imagine that every warrior is pretty fearful before a battle happens. But what they're able to do is stand in that fear and say, this does me no good right now. It doesn't serve me. And they're able
They're
then.
not fearful. They shouldn't be in the battle in the first place.
Well, you got, I mean, when you're going into it, I imagine that you have
part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to be able to overcome it. It's not that they don't have it, it's that they don't focus on it, right? So what is
They
important,
use it.
right? Because bravery, in my opinion, isn't that you can stand in a war, or you can fight in a war. Bravery is that you can admit that you are fearful of that war and you can overcome it and move forward. And so to me, that fear is blocking everybody from what they actually want. We want the highest understanding. We want the highest purpose to be near us. We want a foot in the door when it comes to information between when they're coming and when they're going, or when they're whatever, like them being aliens or being non-physical beings. But we can't see that or be a part of that if we fear the things that are coming. So it's like, I have stood in many positions that I was fearful, incredibly fearful. And I'm not gonna lie, it was like some of the scariest moments of my life when I'm in those situations. But the thing that I was able to see was that when I get fearful, I'm able to calm down and I'm able to see through. So, I mean, one of those moments was when I was standing in a field and I knew that somebody was bringing in like something like 250 horses. And I was standing in the field because you heard the rumble. You could hear the rumble from the horses coming. You could see the stones moving and everything, but you didn't, like, I never experienced a few hundred horses coming into an area. And I had walked over to a river because one of the people's dogs was near a river and I could hear them coming. So I grabbed the dog, I picked it up, and they just came out at me. And I was like, oh shit. Like, that was fear. And if I had ran, I'd have been dead. So would the dog. So it was one of those where it's like, stand, make movements so that they move away from me and they can see me last minute. I mean, lots of those horses, like, body parts touched me on the way by. So, I was, like, literally, to say it lightly, scared shitless. Oh my gosh, I've never felt that kind of fear. Now, that's only one of the instances that I've been in. Other ones have been silly and I've put myself there. But this one was just one of those that I was like, I hope I don't die. So, but I overcame that and I started using it to help me move through that. So you don't move in that situation. So it was a learning experience for me to gather information for this type of mindset. I've traveled so many times. I am not afraid. I mean, traveled like astrally. I am not afraid of going there. It doesn't, like, even the idea, it's so easy because I've let go of the preconceptions that people had given me. And I've been able to go so many places because of that. So I find that, I don't know, I just love the energy of all things alien. Sorry, I'm looking at all of the things I've spilt water on here.
Oh dear.
I've spilt a lot of water. Yeah, beep.
Okay, you ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Right, Mummy Pearson.
My mum.
Hello, Mum.
She has said that she was born on 21st of November. So I came under Scorpio and Sagittarius.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it mean?
Well, it means you have attributes of both, but it also means that you're water and fire. So I'm feeling like you're like a person who not stands on the fence, but stands in between people. Like if there was a disagreement going on, I feel like the person who could see both sides of the disagreement and kind of have people understand both sides. But I also feel with a temper from a Sagittarius, and she could also say things. She's very much got those two powerhouses in her. I mean, Sagittarius is the last fire sign and Scorpio is the last water sign. So they're both that kind of sign that can actually hear things a little bit better than most others. There's like a flapping hand beside you.
Yeah, it's Jimmy thinking he's funny.
I love the laugh that you give him. What is that?
It's a crap crocodile.
Oh, that's a dog? I thought this was a dog. Wait, this one.
Okay.
So, no, you were spot on about my mum. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's lots of, like, I feel like there's water. Like, she likes, like, I don't know, maybe she doesn't like, but water is really good for her. For her joints and for her, I feel like I keep seeing her in something like just floating in water in a comfortable way, like weightlessness. She wants weightlessness kind of thing. Like maybe her joints or something are a little sore. And I feel like the water would really just take kind of, to tell you the truth, what I see her in, and it's not in a negative or a scary way. I see her in something like stasis, like she's in water. It's not like she's in cold stuff. It's just that when she goes into water, it's almost like everything in her body slows right down.
Yeah. She actually suffers with a lot of sciatica and knee problems.
Yeah. Yeah. So the water would be great for that, especially salt water. I hope you guys have like saltwater pools or something you can get to.
Sabrina, we live on a bloody island surrounded by salt water.
Yeah, but that's freezing cold salt water. You need like the warm stuff.
All right.
Like she would be good to go down south a whole lot. Mm-hmm.
She does like water, the weightlessness.
Another question.
Okay. Tinette, how do you tell the difference between your own thoughts and spirits talking to you?
Aha, good question. Good question. So that has been something that most people have a hard time with. I have been doing this really actively for the last, like incredibly actively for the last few years. So that's what I've been building on. And it's really important that we realize that when we first start opening those skills up, the answers that we get are in our voice, in our head. So it just seems like a thought we're having, but in reality, it's like it is a thought being given or information being given. So telepathy is really easy for us to do. It's really easy for us to learn. It's really easy for us to utilize. And so that's when you're doing telepathy, you have to figure out what the listen to your first thought and then recognize that your first thought is the answer to whatever question I had asked. So how I did it is I would ask a question, and then the first thing that popped into my mind, I would say that out loud to somebody, and then I would learn that it was that thought, that very first one. And then when I recognized that it was that very first thought, then I was able to hear different voices because I was recognizing that I was giving freedom and access to know that that's now not my voice. That's coming from somebody else. So then I started to really, and now literally I hear Melchizedek with a very, very deep voice, like very deep.
Hello there.
Yeah, no, even deeper. And it sounds like
Really?
his voice, quite a few people, like not just one, but like, 100 or so sometimes. So it's different trying to understand it at times, but that's how I did it, is I recognized that the first thought was the right one. And then when I opened up to that, then it became that the voices started to change and sound like different people's voices. But like if somebody's talking, somebody who has passed is talking and they have a lisp, they don't necessarily talk with the lisp, but they show me their tongue movements when they're talking. So if I can't hear the lisp, then I'll look at their tongue and they'll, I'll see the tongue between the teeth, or I'll see something different about the way that they're moving stuff. So then I know, okay, there was something going on with the language, because then I can see something's happening. So, yeah.
We lost you again, Sabrina.
Jimmy, want to say something?
Yeah, we lost you again, darling.
Oh.
And
oh, yeah, I can see that you. Hey, I can see it on my phone that I've been lost. All right. I think that's that one, yeah?
Okay. John has asked, at my fire pit this last summer, I was visited by a being, and in the green belt behind my hose, heard them and saw its energy on my roof. Nothing negative, but was wanting to know who it was.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. I'm not getting any faces. I'm not getting any relation. I feel more like it was something like, as soon as you believe in, now I don't believe I know. I believe in some things, but I know most of the things that I'm talking about, I have experience somehow with them. But as soon as you believe in aliens, that just opens you up for very interesting visits. So I'm feeling like it was something tall, really tall and non-physical. Like I feel like it doesn't have a physical form. And I feel like there's algae growing in the water around the property. I feel like there's like if you go to, say you have a stream in the back area of your property or the side area of your property. Like I can see the fire pit, and then I can see kind of trees with something that looks like a stream that kind of goes around the side and then maybe kind of goes around the back, but then it doesn't follow your property all the way. And I feel like there's something to do with really green algae in the water there. I feel like this being kind of leaves that, not meaning to. It's not like they come in here and say, I'm going to leave green algae every time I go. It's more,
awesome.
Right? It's more like it makes wherever it touches, it makes those sections grow more. So it's like footfalls. Its own footfalls would make that grass grow more than normal. And while I'm saying this, I'm feeling like it was something that like was probably responsible for the environment. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to say it's some sort of a earth guardian, and it's here to help with growth, because many people believe that there's a lack of growth right now. I know that the earth is doing everything right. Even the problems that we're going through right now, the environmental problems, it's reflective of what the human race is going through right now. And this being is here to help with the growth of things. So like, I feel like it's a female-ish kind of energy. So I'm going to say she. I feel like she could go to like a garbage dump and make things grow on top of that garbage. You know, like she's really about replenishing. So I think the visit was because you guys were open to the energy, or just open, and she was interested. She was curious about something, and maybe even the fire. So came in and spent some time around that. But I'm really feeling like there's like a weird growth in the natural water system around that property.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tanette has asked, is there a connection between being an Aquarius and the supposed age of Aquarius?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Each age is where everybody experiences the attributes of that zodiac. So Aquarius is the water carrier. They're an air sign. Water carrier.
No.
Water on the earth. We're needing water areas of the earth.
Lost you again, Sabrina.
Water. I just filled it all already.
Oh no.
I'm going to communicate now. Woohoo!
Whoa, and you're back in the room. We didn't get any of that at all, sweetheart.
Okay, water.
Yeah.
Which one did we not get? Did I say Aquarius is a water carrier?
You got that far, I think, and that was it.
Yeah, and an air sign. So I feel like we're going to start to feel the strength of how do you say, carrying our, like, parts of us that aren't willing to move forward. We're going to be able to carry that and then get to the point where we can let it go or we can utilize it. So the age of Aquarius is kind of that, it's like that worker time. It's like time to put work in, you know? And so we're all experiencing that right now, even though the Aquarius is probably, it's a language almost that they're kind of used to, because they are Aquarius. But it's also that I, being a Pisces, am experiencing the aspects of being an Aquarius. You're what? What are you, Sarah?
I'm a Leo.
So Leo, but now you're experiencing the attributes of an Aquarius, and it's about carrying ourselves through, right? Like it's about really getting ourselves through this point. And I find it interesting that we get to experience these things, like the feelings of how other people feel feelings, how they store feelings, how they use feelings. And it's funny because it's funny, but feelings are going to be our engine to get going. So we need to be able to carry our butts to the ship to get that engine going. So I like it. Beep.
Okay, Kelly, was it Pickle that pooped outside my bedroom door or another dog? Why?
It was Pickle. It was Pickle. Oh, God, you know what was funny is that she just asked that and I saw the poops looking like pickles.
Surefire thing then, it's Pickle.
Yeah, it was Pickle.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
I think it was Pickle for I think there's something going on with Pickle right now. Pickle's kind of like, I feel like he's in a spot where he wants to say something, nobody's listening to him. Not because nobody wants to listen to him, but because he's not being incredibly obvious right now. So I think he's just kind of like, I'm done trying to talk to you people in your English crap. I'm just going to take a crap right here and show you how I feel. So, and you know what? I just got the picture too of my dog, because my dog always comes up to me when I'm on my phone or when I'm on the computer, and she's like, come on, love me. So I feel like he's probably like, screw you on your stupid computer again.
Oh dear.
Pickle's awesome.
Oh, yes. Okay, Mark has asked, what if you don't feel or hear any connections with a higher power?
Doesn't mean you're not connected. Some people, I know a lady that swears that she has no skills, and yet when she comes out with messages, they are incredible. I mean, the messages come in a billion different ways. With some people, it comes with art. Some people, it comes with words. And what I mean is they see words in their head. So when they write these words down, another word comes, and then they write it down, another word comes. That's like automatic writing. It's a way for them to communicate with us. But it's you are connected. Mark is connected, and he may not hear or feel like he's got things going on, but that's only because of the feelings part. Again, the men are going to have the hardest time with this right now, unless they're okay with being seen as vulnerable. It's really going to be difficult because it's something that has to be achieved. It has to go from patriarchal to matriarchal. Matriarchal is about feelings and about respect and about consistency and about inclusion. It's about having I'm telling you, there's 12 people up in the High Star Council. Those are 12 people who govern or whatever you want to say, help guide an entire infinite space. So with those 12 people, they don't expect to be one. They don't expect to be, one person in charge ever. Go through 12 people beings in order for one thing to be approved. If we are missing, in order to get to that point, it's that we have to recognize what our feelings are trying to tell us. It's what intuition is. Intuition is knowing that your feelings are saying something, and that's your higher self saying, listen, there's something going on, you need to go, or you need to stay, or so. It's not that nothing's happening, Mark. It's just that there needs to be something where you're able to understand how to let go of the idea of a man, because that idea, it's not fair and it's not really all that right. So crying is good. Like, I know it's all weird, but crying, feeling, loving, like, the way that they show me love, Melchizedek shows me love, is I cry. And as soon as I'm literally, I don't sob, I don't, it's none of that. Tears pour out of my eyes and I yawn a lot. So this is how they show me love. And this is the immense amount of feelings that they have available. And they have anger. It's not all love. There is anger, but that anger is never focused on. It's like a blip in comparison to how much positivity they give.
Okay. Diana has asked, do you ever get during a message that the communication is about to end, like the portal is about to close?
No, I don't personally, because I'm powerful. And that's not ego. That is me knowing that I can physically push people away from me or pull them into me without actually doing anything except thinking that I want them away from me or I want them closer to me. And people will come to me. Now, that's not me. It's not just me. But what that is I'm standing in my power and I'm able to decipher what the language is that they're giving me. Or I'm able to show them strongly what the language is that I have. So I can make a connection. Literally, I just have to say, you know what? I don't want to communicate anymore. I'm done. And that's how I close that connection off. Sometimes they sit there quiet. Like literally, I feel like I hear the tapping of the fingernails on the table. Like they're just kind of quiet. But if I say, what is, or how do you, or what happened, then they open up for me. So I haven't had that, but I'm not going to say that other people don't.
No. Like you say, everyone's different on the way that
yeah, everyone is different. 100% different.
Okay. Susanna's asked, is there something blocking my own intuitive ability?
Yes. It's in your throat. There's actually okay, so I'm seeing 3 lines in your throat right now. One which I'm going to associate with your spine. That one's red. And then there's a blue one and a blue one. But what I see is I want to see 2, for some reason in my mind, I want to see 2 golden ones coming here in between the blue and the red. I'm looking at myself here because I have to see what I'm touching. But I want to see 2 golden lines coming here. And I feel like there's words. It's usually right now, a lot of the times it's words because our words are so important and we don't recognize how that's important. What I'm hearing in my mind is I hear a lot of can't, don't know how, and this is like inner thought, you know, like, and I'm not saying it's something that you would even be conscious of, Suzanne. I think it might be something that is kind of that unaware autopilot kind of talking. You know, you're used to hearing other people talk, or you're just used to talking like that before you recognized your skills. So I feel like this is really the only thing that's stopping you. I say to everybody, throwing away limits is the most important thing you can ever do when it comes to speaking with these beings, because they know no bounds. They don't have limits. So when we put limits up, we actually, just like the fear, the limits and fear block our brains, because it actually, you can see in CT scans and MRIs when people do these different, like people in different, fear can actually, and so when it gives it like the different chemicals and different hormones, and then the brain, hi Dougie, you handsome boy, and it gives like, my dad just said Doug. Hey Doug. Handsome boy. Oh, he's so handsome. He's so cute. So yeah, I totally forget what we were talking about. Oh yeah, Suzanne. So so I feel like when you're aware of the words, and it's not like I feel you've been working on this. But I feel like there's something about the words, like it goes towards you, you know, like it's like you would never do that to somebody else. You wouldn't say, you can't do this, you won't do this, you're not doing this, da 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 da. But within, you know, like I feel like it's something within that is saying you're putting limits on yourself, even though you don't want them there. So it's really a small thing, because I can see that, like, I don't know how to say it. It looks like there's like shafts that are being made for these golden lines, these golden cords to come right in. But here is where they're showing me it's not, there's already golden, there's red, blue, golden on your head, and it's all the way through. Little bit is shady in your root area. And so maybe that, I feel like it's family related. So maybe that's also what the words are. You know, like it's something maybe that you redundantly heard and haven't caught yet that's happening on the inside. But the big thing is you say, I can communicate with anybody I want to. You wake up, you go into your sessions, you go into a meditation. I can talk, say, hook up, connect with anybody that I want to. And then we open up that, just by saying that, our words are so powerful to us, not to them, but to us. And we have to be careful because each word has a different meaning. Like right now, if you said to somebody, you have to open up and love more. Well, love might be painful. Maybe they were sexually molested by somebody they loved. Maybe they were beaten by somebody they loved. Maybe they were neglected by somebody they loved. So that word love hurts them, but they have to move through that. It doesn't matter how much it hurts you. If you can't love, you're not going to open up to this massive realm of that. So we have to be like, so if you find a word, like it might not even be can't. Maybe it's something that is a normal word, but it has a meaning to you that's different, Suzanne. I hope that helped.
Okay. Pat has asked, do you know Chinese astrology?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm a rooster.
Oh, yeah.
Virgo.
Roosters are awesome.
But Pat
Roosters.
isn't.
What's that?
But Pat isn't. He's the exception to the rule.
So he's the cocky rooster, eh? They're all cocky.
It's cock.
Exactly. But rooster's really good. Rooster is a like a protection. They're really good at they're really good at sort of paving the way. But the great thing about roosters is they don't say you have to do this. They show somebody what could be done, and then it's exactly like a rooster. I'm seeing the picture they're showing me. So like hens, they don't know sometimes that they can eat something. Let's say I don't know, ticks. We'll say they don't know that they can eat ticks. A rooster will go over to a bunch of ticks, eat the ticks, and then the hens are like, oh, it's time to eat. And they run over and they eat it. It's like the rooster shows the hens that this is something you can eat, and I'll show you how. And so that's kind of what Pat can do, is he can come into somebody's life and well, kind of exactly what you did for me actually with Twitter. You come into somebody's life, you show them something, and then you let them figure that out. And the Virgo is earth or dirt. Yeah, there's lots of energy going on with your Virgo side. Interesting. I feel like there's like oh, how do I put that into words? Like there's something tipping that scale. Like it's all about, you know, I feel like if it were, say you were to go for a drive with a friend, no, say you were planning on going somewhere with a friend. It's kind of really important to you that everything is equaled for each of you, so that your friend isn't doing more, and you know that your friend wouldn't want you to do more. So it's like, it's a very
double Dutch.
Yeah, exactly. And so but I feel like right now maybe something's leaning a little bit more on the side that you're trying to figure out how to say, so that it can come to be more equal rather than being weighed down on the one side. I feel like the one side has to do with like with communication with a family member. Maybe you're not being heard or understood properly, or maybe you have to speak really loud, so it's exhausting to try to say it in a way. I'm not sure. Something interesting. And family, close-ish. That wasn't vague in the end there.
Okay. There's been a question from Diana. Do you have a particular exercise or practice you like for staying in higher vibration? Like certain music, meditation type?
I sing my guts out. I did that last night, yesterday. I sing so loud. I hope I'm a good singer. I mean, my hubby says I am, so that's good. But just who cares? Belt it out. I do meditation as well, but I don't do it often, which I could if I wanted to. I can't say I don't do it often. I don't do it like sitting down and I don't do that kind of meditation often. But meditation is being mindful. It's one and the same. So you can meditate while walking down the street as long as you're mindful. You're hearing your footfalls, you're feeling your footsteps, you're listening to the stuff that goes around you. You're not focusing on any one thing. You are hearing, feeling, involved with everything. And that is what gets me going. Plus, I have that exercise that I always talk about, which is taking off or having a big cloud of energy above me, like a positive cloud of light and energy above me, and then taking off the top of my head and funneling all that energy into me with like waterfall pressure and force, and then allow it to fill me up all the way back to the top of my crown, and then I'm ready to give energy out. I think it's really important to do this. I was telling you about this before, Jimmy, with Mika, and it's not something that you should just try. I feel like it's something you guys should do every day, and especially if Mika, you know, around kids and like around people, because you can even stave off illness with this type of an exercise. And what it does is it allows you to not be affected by anybody else. And why it works is because when the energy comes out of you so fast, when somebody's got a negative intent or is thinking negatively, you almost dissipate that anger from you. But if they want to hold on to that anger, they choose to leave. So they don't want to be around you because you're going to break off that anger and actually make them feel something. So a lot of the times they don't want to do that. But somebody with a positive intention, they don't even notice that it's happening. They just walk into it and enjoy the energy. And a lot of the times I have people who come up to me, especially for healings, that feel a lot of heat in their chest and a lot of heat in their heads and like in very specific areas. So it's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. What's going on there? Ooh.
I'm trying to unplug the power to the phone.
But he was trying to do it without moving it, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Fail.
Massive fail. Mark has asked, is there any messages from my past grandmothers?
You should be cooking more. You should be cooking more. I feel like you're right. I feel like maybe you eat out, Mark. Maybe you eat, at restaurants or something, or you get I don't know. Or maybe you don't cook. Like maybe you're not the cook in the house. I feel like there's something about the cooking. You should be cooking because you have this power in your hands. And when you cook, well, you're the putterer. You're the lawnmower man. So it's like the power. It is Mark, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the power in your hands. I feel like if you're able to cook, and when you do cook, it would like infuse the food with such good energy, you could make a hot dog and people would be like, God, Mark, this tastes good. What the hell did you do to it? And I put it in the pot, or I put it on the Barbie. I don't know. What did I do? But because you've got this energy in your hands, Mark, that you just I need to rub my hands feeling what you have going on in there. So I feel like if you were to cook, it would be helpful on all parts. Yourself, your health, your family's health. I hope that makes sense because that was funny.
Okay.
What?
Oh, we're losing you again.
We keep losing you at certain times.
Am I back yet?
You are now, babe. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Suzanne, any messages from my parents?
Oh. Weird. They showed me your hands and said that you need. Oh, okay, there it is. They showed me something with her hands. With your hands, Suzanne. I feel like they're showing me your nails and that they're thick but brittle, or they there's something that happens to the nails. I feel like there's not gardening, but there's something that you can plant that you could eat, but also it would help your hands, your hair and your nails. I feel like there's something going on with your nails. I don't know why that's important, but they are mentioning maybe you need to make this change for something beyond the nails. I'm really thirsty for water. I don't know why. I do. It's all over my floor.
If you want to go and grab one, that's cool.
No, it's okay. I'll finish this off. But yeah, there's there's something going on with your hands. I'm seeing them kind of moving funny too. Maybe they're stuck, or maybe you can't straighten them out fully. There's something going on with the hands, and I feel like there's something that you can plant, and from planting to harvesting to eating or wearing, all of those facets are important for your hands. And I think that whenever you, I think that whenever you harvest this stuff, am I frozen again?
No.
You good?
No. Okay, good. I think whenever you harvest this stuff, you have to do it with no gloves on, but I feel like it might be uncomfortable. So it's almost like there's a lesson even in the action of fixing the problem. So I feel like it's something about resistance that got you the issue with the hands. And then to heal it, it's almost like what I see is little spikies sticking in your hands, you know, like when you step on a prickly on your lawn and the little prickles stay in your foot. It's something like this on your hands that I see, but for some reason I feel your hands need those prickles. So, and I wish I could find the plant. It is, I can't, like I heard it looks like thyme, but I don't know what thyme looks like. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's right. Mika's just had to go to bed because he's actually not feeling that great. He's still suffering a little bit. So he just said to say goodnight to everyone. So that's what that distraction was. We do apologise.
Oh, good night, Mika.
Yeah, he's disappeared.
Yeah.
John's asked anything from my dad's dad named after him died before I was born.
Well, I saw a soldier, like not as in somebody in war. I mean, somebody who took that job seriously. Like quite a bit of pride in his involvement in what he was doing. I feel like he keeps kind of, I don't know why he's showing me, I'll just keep on saying I don't know why, because it has to be affirmed to me somehow, but I feel like the standing straight. Funny, I'm getting a lot of body things today. I have this feel or this need to put my shoulders back and stand up straight. And because he's wearing a suit, like a uniform, it's easy for me to understand that he wants to see John straight up, like sitting straight, shoulders back, head straight up. I feel like there's something like, you know, like a message, like you need to not be so, no, it's not a not. It's, hold on. Tell me. Okay. So it's about him when he's standing straight and tall. The rigidity isn't what helps you to stand tall. It's the strength in your core that helps you to stand tall and stand straight. And so that has a double meaning. So it's the strength in his core and in like his belief in himself. I feel like the grandfather is saying that it's important that while you stand tall, you believe in yourself, but you also put it out there that you're available. It's not just that you're you believe in yourself so much that you don't need available, but you need to be and approachable. And the rigidity in this being straight, like being back straight and body straight, that rigidity, it's not coming from the muscles that you're choosing to straighten up. It's coming from the inside of you. So what I kind of feel like with that is when he starts to connect in that emotional fashion, or in that understanding himself fashion, that he'll be able to sit straight, stand straight much easier. There'll be a lot more confidence in his knowing of himself. And then that confidence will exude to the person that he's near, talking to, whatever. I feel like it's going to be quite a switch when he's able to exercise those core muscles, meaning beliefs. Like beliefs can be just as damaging as they could be positive. I believed that I was going to get diabetes because I was told by every person, even in past lives, if I were to say in the genetic line, even in past lives, you get told that, you know, you're going to have diabetes by this point because your mom had it, your grandma had it, your da-da-da had it, your da-da-da had it. And I believed that I was going to get it. Now, I know now that that is starting to go away because I'm actually able to start, like I'm able to start coming off of my insulin. I'm doing it safely and I'm doing it fully aware, but I'm able to start doing that. So to know that that's exactly what I need to do is change my beliefs. I don't believe I have diabetes. Maybe it's here right now, but it's going to be gone soon. And this is what I keep saying to myself. I keep saying it. So don't allow beliefs to guide you as much as your knowing knows how to guide you. And a lot of us don't acknowledge our knowing because we think it's fake. We think it's imagination. We think it's something different than what it actually is, which is a knowing.
Okay. And John just confirmed that his grandfather was a World War I vet.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's super cool. Thank you, John. That's great. That's super cool. I love that.
It's nice when we get the confirmation there.
It really is. I love it. And I'm super happy that you guys tell it to me as well. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. We'll tell you whenever anything comes through, we'll let you know. Kelly, last time we did my grandfather. Any messages from my maternal grandmother?
Something about interesting. Everybody's talking about the body today. Well, I feel like it's always a double message. There's something going on with the back of your neck. And I feel like that's something that you're like, I don't know, you're up in the air about. Okay, this is weird, but I'm gonna say it because when the weirder it is, usually it needs to be said. What I feel is that you're like, I feel like there's like something pulling on my neck, but there's a pinch at the back of it, right? So like if I had to say like a noose, but I don't mean it in a suicidal way. I mean it in a like a stopping way, like it stops. Something is stopping you. Your grandmother is saying that there's like, you got to get back, you got to get in, not maybe, I don't know, back into or into ancient style medicines, because there's like, I can see like oils, not in like essential oils, but like I like a mixture of things. And when you put those together, and it's like literally what I'm seeing is a lady chewing shit up, like literally chewing leaves up and taking the spit and the juices that come from whatever she's chewing and putting it in her hand. And then she's going around to, like, it looks like it kind of resembles a coconut, but it's not a coconut. And she's getting something, like she's squishing on something and getting some sort of a liquid out of that. And then she's rubbing it around in her hand. And what she's doing then is she's just going right onto the back of the neck, like just slapping it right on there. And I see 24, so I'm assuming 24 hours of this stuff being on your neck. And I don't know if it's a physical pain. I don't feel like it's so much a physical pain. I feel like it's something that can help to move through this noose feeling, like this feeling of being caught by something, or like there's like something seems good, but there's something, well, no, it seems good, but there's something in her, that's in her intuition, that's kind of arguing with how good it seems. And keep that up. That the discernment is fantastic, and keep that up, because that's one thing that the grandmother is very proud of. She seems to be somebody who really likes the outside of the box thinkers, you know, like encouraging those crazy thoughts. Crazy as in far-fetched. So yeah, that's weird. So whatever you find that stuff is, chew it up and stick it on your back. And I think it's something probably tropical, not from here, but I'm feeling like there's something like oils. And I feel like, Kelly, you're going to be drawn to them. It's not something that It's not something you have to go and research. It's going to be like you walk into an area and you're like, what is this? What is this goo? And they're going to say, oh, it's this, and it's got this and this oil in it. And oh my goodness, the people of Africa, whenever they use this, they chew on it, or the people of wherever, they chew on it, and then they mix it with this really weird fruit, and then they, you know, spit it out and slap it on their back, kind of a thing, you know, like I feel like somehow, you know, you're going to know somehow that that's what you need to get. And you need to frequent those, what do you call them? The natural food stores and such. I feel like you do anyways, but when you do, you need to listen to where you're drawn. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Mark, anything from my dad?
I don't know why, but I see a kitchen table or a dining room table. I feel like it wiggles or it wibbles and it makes noises. And I feel like his father's kind of like, you know, I could fix that. And this is so interesting. I'm not getting anything. This is so cool. Anyway, so I feel like what he's saying is maybe he was like either a fix-all, like he just knew how to fix everything, or he was a woodworking man and understood wood and how to fix that. And I feel like it's one of those things that that he like it could even be a metaphor or something like this for something simple in his life that's kind of squeaky or you know, to stand in the moment and say, what would my dad do? And have the first thing that pops in be what you try first. But I feel like he keeps showing me a table, a wibbly table. Like it's not just one leg, it's a few legs or two, and it's on one end of it. And I feel like really he's sitting here going, come on, Mark, you know how to fix that. So I'm wondering, you know, if it's a table or if it's actually something within him. But I find that interesting that he shows me that. They're so interesting. Incredibly.
Okay. John has asked, so when someone asks a question for themselves, it could relate to all of us in the chat?
It could. Yeah, because a message, they know more than we know. They know how to affect as many people as they need to in one moment. They also know how to individually affect us. So, I mean, if a message is coming out and somebody's really resonating with it, then it's for you. There's no doubt. You know, like most of the times when I'm giving messages, I'm also getting healing or messages for myself. Like what I say also applies to me. So if you feel that it resonates, then absolutely, it could be for everybody or a few of you or one of you.
Okay. Now, Mark's just said he doesn't resonate with that at all, but it doesn't have to resonate right now. It could be something that clicks in place at a later time.
Yeah. And it wasn't exactly clear. Like I'm trying to ask him things. I think like I feel like he was a person who like I feel like I have to lean my ear in to his father. So either what I'm getting the feeling is either he had a difficulty speaking or he was one of those people that used extra words and wasn't like didn't do the point right to the point thing kind of thing. Like I'm keeping on putting my ear towards the camera. It's interesting.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
We've got the last few questions coming through now. So, Diana, is there something unusual from when I was young I should continue to try and research?
Well, fairies just popped into my mind. Is there something interesting
Is there something unusual from when I was young? I should continue to try and research.
I keep seeing fairies. So maybe it's the elemental realm. There's something really, yeah, she knows what she's talking about. And this is something that, like when we're kids, we understand stuff way better than we do when we're adults. Even if we don't understand it, it makes sense to us. And I feel like there's this thing like with animals, with elementals, there's something like even mermaids, like I really do see the elementals coming out in this question, in the answer to this question. But I mean, like what if you have an interest in something, yeah, keep going on it. The thing is that there's like, oh, like the Atlantis stuff, you know, like we're going there. There's so much stuff involved. Like when we were able to find parts of Atlantis or all of it, we're going to recognize that fairies were here, mermaids, unicorns, all those things that we think aren't really here, really are. We just can't see them because we're not privy to that yet, because we haven't, like what would one do if they saw a unicorn standing in their backyard? I mean, would you be like, oh yeah, there's a unicorn? Or would you be like, what the, and, you know, try to figure that out? So, but I'm really feeling like there's something to do with animals on this, and I see wands. I see like all fantastical stuff right now. It's like, fairy tales, like, what do you call them?
She's just got the gifted program.
Gifted program?
That's all she put, gifted program.
There's something going on. Like I can see a light swirling around the top of her head. Oh, and math numbers just started coming to me as well. Hold on, let me try to gather this picture up a little bit. Gosh, she's really got this fantastical, mythical thing going on. But when I'm looking at this swirl at the top of her head, I can see it's like bluey light, and it's doing this like beautiful swirl around. And in it, I see shapes and numbers. In this blue swirl, I see shapes and numbers. Shapes I don't even know what their name is. And the numbers, they're just individual numbers kind of randomly being swirled around. This is difficult for me to figure out what they're trying to say here. Like, I feel like whatever it is you're talking about would be something that would open you up in a sense that would be immensely connecting. Yeah, you've got something to do with numbers and shapes. There's a lot of, oh, what's that word? Like earthen abilities or powers, abilities that you've got. I'm just going to say, because I can't decipher this, I'm having such a hard time trying to figure out if they're trying to tell me about the shapes and the numbers or the elementals. But I feel like if you're interested in looking or going into the, I feel like
Oh, no.
is
No.
open
We're losing
you
you.
up to have access to stuff that you didn't have access for. How about now?
Yep,
Now?
you're back in the room.
Yay! Yay!
Wow.
It's going to keep happening, I feel.
Okay. Pete, anything from my dad?
Oh, your dad again, Pete. He's a sweetheart. Pete, you need to check your tires. Or check under your tires. I just saw a big farm tractor, and I just saw a tire like needing me. I'm looking at the lug nuts. Oh, and there's some sort of I keep hearing the word secret sauce. Like, I mean, I think of McDonald's when I hear that, but I don't know what I'm trying to figure out what he means by it. But I'm like, there's something about, what is the secret sauce? Is that a food? Is that what is that? Secret sauce. I don't know. This is so weird. It's like the energy right now is like whirling around me, like it has been for the last little while. Secret sauce. It's got something to do with secret sauce. It's like interesting. Every time I'm trying to figure out what this secret sauce means, I keep seeing what are the black frying pans? Cast iron frying pan. And in the cast iron frying pan, I can't see what it is. And every time I look over, there's a person in front of it and they're doing work in this cast iron pan. And every time I try to look over the cast iron pan, I have them like blocking it with their shoulder so I can't look in.
As in a secret sauce.
Secret sauce, yeah. But I'm not understanding if that's a metaphor or if that's something that they, like there's some sort of a secret sauce that's in the family, something. But I'm feeling like this has to do with money making, you know, like maybe it's, let's say it's a food, like Newman's Own, you know, the salad dressing, right? Like it's something like where if it was able to get out, I feel like it should be called secret sauce so that nobody tries to find out what's in it. Or nobody can find out what's in it kind of thing. I mean, you have to list all the ingredients, but I feel like people are like, oh, interesting secret sauce. So it, you know, like you could make money with whatever this sauce is that way. And if it's not an actual sauce, then I feel like it's something that's kind of within Pete that needs to, like maybe all of him doesn't need to be exposed to somebody. You know, like maybe holding on to some of that sauce, some of the ingredients of the sauce for himself and not revealing them ever is okay. So it's kind of like, you know, some secrets will hurt and some secrets will heal, even though they still hurt. I feel like this secret might hurt. It's not meant to hurt. I just feel like it would hurt. So like the first thing that comes to mind, and I'm not saying this is what it's about. I'm just saying this is something like as what an example is. So like if somebody were in a new relationship with a person and they had said, you know, I cheated on my ex-girlfriend because she did this, you know, like she did this to me and I got angry at it. And they say this to the new girlfriend. Well, you know, that's kind of one of those things that you don't need to expose because that goes against your character, right? And it's something like they will judge you, they will feel from it, that something, you know, like distance will be put in between. So it's kind of, those are one of those things that you don't need to reveal, right? And I feel like it's kind of got something to do with what he's choosing to reveal. It might even be like parts of himself, like maybe he puts like a lot of emotions into things and people then kind of use his emotions in a way that isn't all that effective for him. Though I find that interesting. Now I want to know what secret sauce is.
Okay.
Am I
Jim's got a
frozen?
question.
All right. No. We'll do that one last. We've got a couple more from the chat room. We've got to get through it, and I'll ask.
All right. Okay. Mark, am I on the right path? Hopefully that should be quite a quick answer. Quick.
Right, it's Mark.
Is he on the right path?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's starting to. Yep. There's definitely a information that has to be given to him throughout these times right now. And he needs to listen to the people he doesn't think are saying anything valuable. He needs to listen to those people because a lot of the times they kind of have the know-how on how to get through certain things that seem a little crazy, but it works. But other than that, yeah, he's definitely moving in the right direction now. Now, I'm not saying physically is he doing that, but mentally, emotionally, energetically, he is doing that.
Okay. And the last question that we got in from Jeff was, anything new coming my way?
The first thing I think of is the Ark. Anything new coming your way, Jeff? Yes. Yes. I don't know why, but I'm shown a picnic basket. I look in this picnic basket and I see that there are jars of what look like foods, like jellies or whatever. But then I look a little bit closer and they're not. It looks like actually jars of worms. Like there's dirt in the jar and worms are living in it. I'm asking what the worms are for, whether they're representative or it's something actual. And I feel like they're representative. I feel like it's like it's like there's something that you're unearthing right about now. And this unearthing is, it's really important that you do it, but you do it in a way that you can see the changes. So you have the worms in the jar because you can see how A, they multiply, B, they live, C, they eat. You can see all of these different ways and how they do things. And I feel like whatever it is, there's something you're coming up to very, very strongly that you're aware of, and you're coming up to it, and you are going to be able to unearth some things that you aren't sure that you can do that with support. So like with people believing you or following you kind of thing, like, but there's something coming, something very, like different. I feel like you're going to notice it. Oh, yeah. I think I have to stick with what I said because I can't figure out this picture of the picnic basket part, but maybe that's not for me.
Okay. I just wanted an update. Pete says that he's going to be checking his tyres after Thursday, and there's no secret sauce, unfortunately.
Yet.
Oh, well, then maybe it's something he's doing. It's something.
But like you say, some things that come through are a metaphor. They're not always plain sailing. What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
There's metaphors around it as well. So
yeah,
maybe there is something.
Well, we'll find out.
We will find out eventually. It will come about. So
yeah.
Right. Jim has got a couple of bits to ask you.
I'll spin myself back
So
round.
I am now done.
Bye.
Hello there. How are you?
Oh, hello.
It's so empty without Mika.
I know. I feel like you should be turning it a little bit more to the side, but he's not there.
I know, but you did get the fantastic artwork that his school friend done for us.
Aw.
I know, it's so cool. So cool. Did you see that one on last week's show?
No.
We pulled it out on what's last week's show, wasn't it? Yeah. Right. Let me get it down. This was our first little bit of fan art.
Oh my goodness, you guys, that is so.
I know, but look at the detail on the hats. It's even got the little Zetas on the hats as well.
That is awesome.
I know, and that was made from one of his school friends. So
Oh my goodness, that is awesome.
there you go. Yeah, Fascination Street with Mika and Jimmy. So yeah, it's our first little bit of fan art, and we're really, really proud of that. We love that very, very much.
That is so cool.
I know.
I can totally see myself in the reflection there.
I know. You're looking good tonight, girl. You're looking really good.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
It's not straight. There was one question that came in that Sarah did miss, and it was from Mark Tirana, and it was simply, will Jimmy?
Yes, he will, Mark. Yep. He will.
I'm hoping that question mark was, will Jimmy make it as a broadcaster, not will Jimmy come out the closet or something like that.
Well, your buddy said that the last time I gave you a reading. You remember that?
Yeah, my best mate. Yeah.
I don't know what that was, and you haven't told me yet. So.
What about the coming out the closet thing?
Yeah.
That was a private joke we always had.
Oh.
Always, because we were really, really close. Yeah, it was always like, because obviously we're both straight in that, but he was always very like, oh, hello, ducky, hello, dear. But it was like very old traditional British, very camp like humor, and we had so much camp humor along the way that it kind of stuck. And when we used to go to the pub, his song was always "Dancing Queen" by ABBA.
Yeah. And
used to do like a fruity little dance to it, and so yeah, there was always that between like Fred and I. Yeah, there was always
great.
that. So that was very, very cool.
And it's one of those weird things where why would I say that? But yet I do, and it means the biggest thing.
But again, Kerry Ann that you spoke to earlier, with the message and that, we was talking on the ship earlier on today, and she was like, well, I'm very skeptical about people like this, I'm not quite sure how to take them, because she judges everyone by sort of like country fare, clairvoyance and stuff. And I was like, no, Sabrina's not like that. So Sabrina's a very good personal friend. I love Sabrina dearly. I said, I've always been very skeptical over psychics, people that channel and stuff like that, because there's so many charlatans out there that it gives the real decent people a bad name. I mean, I've never had anything to do with psychics or anything like that. You are genuinely the only one that I've ever had anything to do with, that I've trusted emphatically with anything.
Thank you.
So, but I mean, everyone knows, there's no surprise out there at all. You're a talent, you're up, you're coming. And there's a lot of people that I speak to that are very, very interested in you, what you do, and stuff like that. Even the ones that think they have to pay to chat to you on Messenger. Right, my question.
Okay.
Right, are you ready for this? Brace yourself.
Wait. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate your faith and your trust in me.
I wouldn't be having you on my show if I thought that you were a jackass or anything, would I?
Thank you.
I can speak freely because I've got no small person here now, so he's up in bed. So wicked. Right. Okay. Can you ask your guy, does the name Tor Il or something of that ilk mean anything at all? Because I met this like spirit guide during a meditation, and he introduced himself to me as Tor Il. Now, he told me that I wouldn't be able to see him yet. I mean, this was like last year, because I wasn't ready to see him. But yet he gave me messages, which were fantastic messages. I couldn't see him, but I could make out he was kind of like a typical kind of like Zeta kind of shape. But I haven't been able to get hold of him or contact or anything like that again. So I wasn't too sure whether or not you may have any information on that to kind of help me out a little bit.
Okay. Yes. But I want to Tor Il.
It sounded like Tor Il. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, the way I've written it down in every sort of like story that I've written about it, because I put it out on Stellar as soon as it happened. Sarah was with me. As soon as I come round from the meditation, I wrote everything, including what he said.
And how he said it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was literally tears rolling down my face and everything.
Yeah.
It was really,
Well,
really
I'll tell you
intense.
why. I'll tell you why. I'm getting my other cards out because I want to show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And there they are.
While you're
These are-
doing that, I'll just fill a little time in here, because John wanted to know about the experience that I had this week, because I put it out on the Sandia group. I don't know if you saw it, whether or not, because when we were in bed the other night, it was coming round to like early hours of the morning, I assume, and I'm laying there, and something is in my bedroom.
Mhm.
But normally, when something's in your bedroom, you get that feeling, don't you?
Yeah.
Because originally I kind of looked over because I thought it may have been Mika, because he's come in a couple of times this week because where he's been ill,
Yeah.
but nothing. But I didn't get that feeling. It was like,
Mhm.
oh, all right. Roll back
Interesting.
over, and yeah, I just had no
You
anxiousness.
don't. Yeah. I think that. Okay. I want to find these. Okay. I think I've got them all.
And that probably sounds a bit weird, and
No, it doesn't.
I don't
I'm
really
telling you.
talk
I'm going to
about.
tell you why it doesn't in a minute. Right here. Actually, right now.
Okay.
So
There you go, John. That answers your question on that one, my man.
that doesn't sound weird at all. Okay. Look it. These are
Right.
all ascended angels of Atlantis. That's what the deck of cards is called. Now, I just want to show you these because the names. Uriel,
Uriel.
Gabriel,
Wow.
Hanael, Raphael, Michael,
Yeah.
Zafkiel,
Wow.
Zadkiel,
Wow.
Shamael. My friend, you met an archangel. And we don't even know who they are. There are so many of them that if you look at Hindu, they have thousands, if not millions, of different deities. This is not even close to how many there are. We only know about the ones that have chosen to show them to us. So who you have is somebody who is in a realm that is here to help, to show, to educate, to learn. And what happens is they come in any which way that they can. But a lot of the times what archangels come as is they don't show themselves because they don't have physical form. They don't. So I see Melchizedek as Gandalf because he doesn't have a physical form. So
Right.
I put a picture there. You put the picture there. When you figure out who this Toriel is, you
Well,
put the picture.
maybe it could have been Uriel, but I misheard it or something like,
Don't
because out
doubt
of
it.
all of that,
Don't doubt it. Don't ever doubt
no,
it. Nope. You don't ever
because
doubt it.
because where I've tried contacting, speaking, saying the name and that, nothing comes back. Nothing, no one, nothing.
No. And maybe they won't because maybe they were only saying something as a message, a one-time message, like this needs to happen or you need to be somewhere or whatever the reason is. Now, we don't have to have guides all the time. Like one being can come to us and not stay with us, right?
Yeah.
But he was here for something or they were here for something.
See, the message was love.
Right?
It was about working together, spreading love, and peace can't be forced. It's something that has to be worked on. And the only way we can do that is by spreading love. And that was the work. But then I done another one about 2 days later. And I can't remember the exact message there. I've got it all written down upstairs in my journal. And again, there was nothing conflictive. There was nothing bad. It was all really like, really got to pull it in, work together, and we can smash this, you know. So
well, and was it what time? What time was it around? Like in your life? Like was it when you were first starting to come to recognize that ufology was more serious than any other time that you had thought of it? Was it?
it was probably, yeah, it was about November time.
Oh, recently.
So we were, yeah, we were. No, it was earlier than that. I think so. It was on Stella. I wrote the story out and I posted it on Stella. Well, actually, because I was actually shown a symbol, and it was like
Yeah.
a triangle, like so, with a circle here, circle here, circle here.
Yep.
So, but there was like a very thin kind of line joining the circles, and that was shown to me on a gold plate. And then I started like noticing all this weird stuff in patterns of three, which I think I'm not sure if I might have mentioned that to you before. Like I'd be going out to like go and clear the tables the next, because like for about 3 days after, I felt like I'd like got the hangover from hell and nothing
Yeah.
made sense. I
Yep.
found that coin from Colorado in my change pot, and we don't even deal with American money at all. And then there was like 3 people sat at a table. There was like a table that I went to which had 3 cups on it and 3 sachets of salt under the table. Then there was 3 tables with only 1 person sat at it. And then when I'm sat there and I'm writing all this out, what's going on, next to me, I have a picture, and I've still got the picture somewhere. The stewardesses come and sit down at the next table. 3 stewardesses sit at the table. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm going mad. Something's not right. I don't understand what's going on. And luckily enough, like, you know, there was a couple of people there that had my back on that. And I was like, what is going on? Am I going mad? I genuinely thought I was going mad, mate. I really,
No.
really did.
No, you were given some important information. That shape that you saw, the triangle with the circles and the lines that are joining the circles, that's definitely a travel machine. It's a portion of a travel machine. And of course, when you're talking about traveling astrally, it's not like you actually step into something, right? Because our bodies aren't physical bodies. Our physical bodies can't leave this planet, but our energetic bodies can. So like I can imagine that maybe shortly after, dreams started kind of happening in a weird sequence, like just weird things happening in the dream.
Everything was weird. Everything was weird. Even the way I felt. I couldn't even really be me. I just didn't know, because I was too busy thinking about what is going on. Where, you know, did I imagine, is this a real thing? Am I going mad? Because I wasn't anywhere near as kind of worldly as what I am now. You know, because I always used to think it was all just hocus pocus. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then something like that happens, and then it changes your whole world. It changes how you think about things. But then after that, so like at that little period where everything kind of calmed down a little bit, everything, and I mean everything, from our show to the projects we're working on, everything has just come together totally effortlessly. It's been so weird. It's like it was kind of designed to happen that way.
Yep. Yeah. And the cool thing is that what your body was doing was resisting. So all of that illness, that hangover feeling, that heavy feeling, that's all the resistance that your body is like, no, screw this. I'm used to this life and this is where I want to stay. But your consciousness is like, F you, body. We are going to go through with this. I'm far too advanced to stay here in this hole right now. I want to be able to go up and down, up and down, up and down, and come back. And, you know, so what happened, which is why I'm saying the dream started happening, because you probably started to travel right at that time. And like travel astrally. So I feel like at that time, they're kind of like getting you ready and giving you the shapes. So I feel like the shape that they gave you, the code that they gave you, was a code for you to be able to travel, to let go of things enough for you to travel. So then I'm sure that those feelings were equaled with really shitty sleep and like dry mouth, or the feeling that you have an insatiable thirst, or like it's many things that are
even talking about it now, I'm drying up.
Right.
But then it was only like a couple of days after that I was going to work. I don't know if I told you about the cat. I walked down this really old, like Victorian style road. All the buildings look very Victorian. And there's one that has a slight porch that comes out, and it's a flat roof, and it's probably 8 to 10 foot high, flat roof. And as I'm walking along, there's like a little cat sat on top, and I'm not a real cat person. And then I could see this little cat peering over the edge, and this cat was like grey, bluey color, and it had really big eyes. And I looked at it and I thought, what a beautiful cat. Then all of a sudden, in front of my eyes, you know, like the Matrix, you've got the black background with the green right. I had a white background with red writing, and I developed this savage headache, real like, wow. And I phoned Sarah straight away. And I was like, you'll not believe what's happened. And again, for the rest of the day, it was just like major headache.
Yep.
And I just couldn't explain it. It was really, really weird. And I don't normally talk quite as openly and as honestly about this as I should, because yeah, I'm being totally open with everyone. And yeah, exactly. And it really did like change everything.
Well, think of cats. Think of the Egyptians with cats, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Egyptians, they were not human for a long time. They were not human. It took them a while to develop humanity because they were trying to figure out how to procreate in a way where they could sort of unbreed themselves out of it, right? They were trying to remove themselves out of it. These are the Atlantis was the original. So. And then they started making it so that humanity could be humanity, but they screwed up. And it wasn't so much the people that screwed up, it was the way they were trying to remove themselves from humanity that got screwed up. And it really affected humanity. So then a lot of things happened at that time, but cats are always, it doesn't matter where you look in the world, cats are those gatekeepers. They're the ones who tell you how and when it's safe to go through things. They're the ones who, like looking into a cat's eyes, literally can send you somewhere else. And so this cat was your access because they are in between. Cats do not understand that they're living or dead. They do not. When they're dead, they do not care. They will still roam around the house like they own it. And they'll be there. So cats are number one, our sidekicks in the past, in the going through. And again, we see it I say this all the time in our movies, Men in Black. The cat had the universe on its collar. I mean, the cat was the gatekeeper, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
So it's one of those interesting things that you had all of those happenstance happen because maybe you've been talking to somebody, or you had been talking to somebody that enlightened you just enough for you to be able to be accessed by these beings and not scare the living shit out of you, right? And then, no, you can't see him. You won't see him until you put a body to him or her, whatever it was.
So, I mean, it was just the words, you're not ready to see me yet.
Yeah.
Why can't I see you? Because you're not ready.
No, because you would just see a ball of light.
Wording. Yeah. Well, I say I could make out like a zeta kind of shape, the usual kind of zeta alien shape. There was no face, there was no feature, there was nothing. It was just a blur. And this room was like real, like beautifully gold crystal. And it was like shimmering. It was totally like a real God conscious moment.
Yep. Okay. I mean, that's Archangel, 100%. And I mean, you're going to see him, you're going to see them however you feel comfortable seeing them. So maybe you're more comfortable seeing a zeta or a zeta shape. But like that gold, that silver, that all of that stuff that you talk about, that marble, it's all this stuff that we see. I see that every time I go up. Every time I meet the council, I see like there's no walls per se, but there's like columns on either side of the area that I'm standing. There's lowered, like a lot of the times I see it looks like a CD and then, or a record, let's say. And then, when there's a skip or not a skip, but a little tiny space when it goes to the next song, that area lowers down a little bit more. And then it goes to a little tiny skip where it goes to the next song and it lowers down a little bit more. But it's a whole circle and it's all kind of spiraling down in levels, almost in steps. And then whoever is speaking to me, is, they usually sit on this big thing that looks like a throne, but it's also got things that look like it detaches and can go different places. It's an interesting look for me. But gold, silver, any of the metals, any of the precious metals, as soon as you see a room like that, you're talking to the non-physical, not the formless, non-physical power beings, and I call them power beings. So that is that is definitely an archangel. I mean, you're lining it up. The Zetas, they don't make it that high. They don't get to go that high. They're physical beings. They don't get to go up there, because if they were, and if they did, they would dissipate, and that would be painful. Well, maybe not to them, but they just can't physically make it up there. So it's everything. I mean, like, shit, man, when I go up there, the stuff that I see, it's like, this is like Greece, but way back in the day where it was like, or Rome, but way back in the day where it's like this big, opulent,
hustle and bustle of loveliness.
Yeah. And
it was such a peaceful place. It was just beautiful. It really was.
And my mouth, every time I'm there, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't want to go. I did not want to leave. It was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
It really was. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, Sabrina, are we good? Are you
I think so. I'm cool. Are you cool?
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's just, I feel really like now.
Yeah. Hey, fill your tank. Fill your tank.
Yeah. I'll sort that out straight after the show. But honestly, thank you so much for coming on. We love having you on so much.
Thank you.
Really do. You're a great guest, but mostly you're an even better friend. We love you dearly.
Thank you. I love coming on.
Awesome.
Let me get up.
Yeah, right. Bye, Sarah. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Bye, Dougie. Doug.
No, he's nibbling his leg. No, Joy. Doug.
See?
Say see ya.
And Canadian. Doug. Hey, Doug. Hey, Doug.
Yeah.
Good. What are you doing? Oh, he's so handsome.
Who's that? I don't know. I don't know. Right.
Is it a squirrel?
So thank you very much, Sabrina.
Okay, thank you. I love you guys.
I love you very much.
Have a lovely evening.
And hopefully we'll have you on again soon.
Absolutely. I'll come on. Bye.
Excellent. You're cool. Right. See you later, Bubs.
Love you.
Right. So that was it. That was another episode of Fascination Street, over and done with. Yeah. Again, sorry Mika left early, but he is a poorly boy, and I'm surprised he lasted as well as he did. So that was very, very cool. So from me, not him, it's good night. From Sarah,
it's good night.
See you all again next week, and we'll do it all over again.